When it comes to health and wellness, one of the most enduring pieces of advice revolves around the concept of hydration. You may have heard the popular guidelines suggesting that you should drink 8 glasses of water a day. This recommendation, often referred to as the 8 glasses rule, has been widely accepted and shared across various platforms. Yet, the truth is that this advice is more of a myth than a scientific fact. The origin of the 8 glasses recommendation is somewhat unclear, but many attribute it to a misunderstanding of hydration needs. Some believe it originated from a misinterpretation of a 1945 Food and Nutrition Board guideline that suggested an adequate intake of fluid for most men is about 3 liters, or approximately 13 cups a day, which includes all beverages and food. However, this information was soon simplified and morphed into the idea that everyone should drink 8 glasses of plain water a day. It's essential to recognize that hydration needs can vary significantly from person to person. Factors such as age, gender, climate, activity level, and even diet all play a crucial role in determining how much water a person needs daily. For example, someone who exercises regularly or lives in a hot climate may require more fluid intake compared to someone who is less active or resides in a cooler environment. Moreover, water isn't the only source of hydration. Many foods we consume, especially fruits and vegetables, are composed mostly of water. For instance, cucumbers and watermelons can be over 90% water. Consuming soups or drinking other beverages like herbal tea also contributes to our overall fluid intake. Therefore, it is not only the water we consciously drink that counts towards our hydration, but also the fluids we obtain through our meals and snacks. Listening to your body is often a more effective way to determine hydration needs than adhering to a fixed number of glasses per day. Thirst is a key signal that your body sends when it needs more fluids. If you feel thirsty, it's your body's way of telling you to rehydrate. Additionally, monitoring the color of your urine can also be a useful guide. A pale yellow hue typically indicates proper hydration, while darker urine may suggest the need for more fluids. While it's important to stay hydrated and support bodily functions, the 8 glasses rule can inadvertently promote overhydration for some individuals. Overhydration, or consuming excessive amounts of water in a short amount of time, can lead to water intoxication or hyponatremia, a condition where sodium levels in the bloodstream become dangerously low. This can be particularly hazardous, so understanding personal hydration needs is key. In addition, the idea of a rigid water intake doesn't take into account individual lifestyles. For someone who works in an office setting and remains relatively sedentary, hydration needs may be lower than someone who spends time outdoors or engages in vigorous activities. It's essential to adapt your fluid intake based on your daily activities and environmental conditions. The 8 glasses rule also oversimplifies the complexity of human biology. Each person's metabolism and physiological needs are unique. Research suggests that something like a one-size-fits-all approach to hydration simply does not apply. Different health organizations and nutritionists encourage individualized hydration strategies instead, promoting the understanding that individuals should assess their needs and adjust accordingly. Interestingly, some cultures have unique hydration practices. For example, in some Mediterranean regions, it is common for individuals to have a glass of water, but to balance it with a diet rich in hydrating foods, emphasizing that water needs can be met through various sources. This demonstrates that there is no universally correct amount of water. Cultural habits and dietary choices can significantly impact overall fluid intake. Ultimately, while staying hydrated is undeniably important. The 8 glasses rule may not be the best guide. It's crucial to recognize that hydration should be personalized, taking into account one's lifestyle, health status, and listening to the subtle cues our bodies provide. Rather than fixating on a specific number of glasses, consider focusing on fostering a lifelong habit of mindful and adequate hydration. In summary, the belief in the 8 glasses rule is more rooted in myth than science. Hydration varies widely among individuals, influenced by numerous factors. From the water in the foods we eat to the drinks we enjoy, our daily intake can be richer and more varied than just plain water. Embracing a holistic approach to hydration that includes paying attention to individual needs can lead to better health and well-being. Remember, it is not about a rigid number, but rather making fluid intake a natural and enjoyable part of life. Your body knows best, so trust it to guide you in maintaining balance and health through adequate hydration. The phrase "blind as a bat" is a common saying that misleads many about the remarkable abilities of these fascinating creatures. In reality, bats are not blind at all. In fact, they possess excellent vision, and their eyes are adapted for low-light conditions. This means they can see quite well in the dark, where they spend a significant amount of their time. But it is not just their eyesight that makes bats extraordinary. They have developed an incredible sense called echolocation that allows them to navigate and hunt for food in complete darkness. Echolocation works through a process that is truly remarkable. Bats emit high-frequency sound waves that bounce off objects in their environment. These sounds are well above the range of human hearing, but when the sound waves hit an object, they return to the bat as echoes. By analyzing these echoes, bats can determine the size, shape, and distance of objects around them. This ability is so precise that bats can recognize tiny insects while flying at high speeds or navigating through dense foliage. Imagine a bat soaring through the night sky at incredible speeds, expertly dodging branches and swooping down to catch a moth in mid-flight. This is all made possible by their superb echolocation abilities. During the night, when the world is dark and silent, bats actively engage in a kind of conversation with themselves, sending out a series of clicks and calls that reveal the intricate details of their surroundings. Different bat species have developed unique adaptations in their echolocation capabilities. Some use short, high-pitched sounds, while others may produce lower-frequency calls. Each technique is tailored to their specific environment and prey. For example, bats that hunt in open areas may rely on sound waves that travel further distances, while those that dwell in forests might use more specialized calls that are better suited for navigating obstacles. In terms of vision, some species of bats have larger eyes suited for detecting light, allowing them to see while foraging in twilight. Their vision is complemented by a rich array of facial features that help them interpret the echoes they receive. The shape of a bat's ears also plays a significant role in this echolocation process. Larger ears can capture more sound waves, amplifying their auditory perception of the environment. There are over 1,400 species of bats worldwide, and their astonishing diversity means that they all employ slightly different methods of hunting and pathfinding. Some bats prefer fruits and nectar, using their keen eyesight to locate sources of food, while others thrive on small insects, utilizing their echolocation in their pursuit. Bats are integral to many ecosystems, serving as pollinators and pest controllers, making them invaluable to both natural and agricultural environments. It's fascinating to discover that bats can cover vast distances with their echolocation. Scientists have studied some species that can travel hundreds of miles in a single night to find food. This long-distance navigation is attributed to their sophisticated sonic abilities, which allow them to detect the smallest changes in their environment. Aside from their hunting prowess, bats also exhibit complex social behaviors. Many species roost communally, forming large colonies that can number in the thousands. Within these groups, bats communicate through sounds and body language, further emphasizing their social nature. You might find them hanging together in caves or man-made structures, forming tight-knit communities that contribute to their survival. Bats have also inspired a great deal of fascination in human culture. These creatures have often been depicted in folklore and mythology across various societies. They have been viewed differently, from symbols of death and misfortune to representations of rebirth and regeneration. Today, researchers continue to study bats to uncover more about their behaviors, habitats, and their fundamental role in maintaining healthy ecosystems. Understanding the true capabilities of bats helps dispel myths that have persisted through the ages. With their extraordinary eyesight and remarkable echolocation, bats are champions of the night, navigating the world in ways that are beyond human comprehension. They are not only vital for a balanced ecosystem, but also a testament to the wonders of evolution and adaptability. So the next time you hear the phrase, blind as a bat, remember the true essence of these incredible creatures. They are not only equipped with sight, but they also possess a sophisticated method of navigating their world. Bats are a wondrous blend of natural abilities that showcase the beauty of life on Earth, highlighting the need for awareness and conservation to ensure their continued presence in our world. Embracing the reality of bats allows us to appreciate the complexity of nature and encourages a deeper connection with the environment. Let's celebrate the extraordinary, fascinating, and sometimes misunderstood world of bats. It is a common belief that humans only use 10% of their brains. This intriguing notion has echoed throughout popular culture for decades, appearing in movies, books, and casual conversations. It suggests that a vast reservoir of potential lies dormant within our minds, waiting for the right key to unlock hidden abilities. But let's delve deeper into this myth and explore what current neuroscience has to say about our brain's functionality. First, it's essential to understand what the brain is and how it operates. The human brain is an incredibly complex organ made up of nearly 100 billion neurons. These neurons communicate with each other through trillions of synapses, forming intricate networks that govern every function we perform. From regulating our heartbeat to processing our sensory input, coordinating movement, and enabling complex thought, almost all areas of the brain have recognized roles. The notion of using only 10% of the brain might stem from misinterpretations of neurological research. Early studies in the late 19th and early 20th centuries looked at brain injuries and their effects on behavior, leading to misconceptions about unused portions of the brain. Some researchers discovered that certain regions seemed less active when individuals were engaged in specific tasks, leading to the belief that those areas were wasted or unutilized. However, modern images of brain activity obtained through advanced techniques, such as functional magnetic resonance imaging or fMRI, tell a different story. These images reveal that even when we think we are at rest or not focused on a task, many parts of the brain are active. Multiple regions are continuously communicating, processing information, and even working on subconscious tasks, like regulating our body functions and managing our emotional responses. Moreover, the brain's plasticity plays a vital role in its functionality. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This adaptability means that when we engage in various activities, different areas of our brains become more pronounced in their roles. Learning a new skill, like playing a musical instrument or speaking a foreign language, activates distinct brain networks, illustrating how our brains can change structurally and functionally through experience and learning. Consider the way expert musicians or skilled athletes utilize their brains. Their extensive training focuses on refining specific brain circuits associated with their crafts, proving that focused practice can enhance the efficiency of various neural pathways. In this light, it is not that only 10% of the brain is in use. Rather, it is that the brain is dynamic, activating specific regions based on functional demands. The brain also engages in various tasks simultaneously, demonstrating that it is more like a massive orchestra than a single engine running at a lower capacity. Different sections are activated and deactivated in harmony, working together seamlessly. For instance, when you are reading a book, areas responsible for processing language, visual input, and even emotional responses are all interlinked, working in cohesion to allow for a comprehensive understanding of the material. We also cannot overlook the impact of creativity, problem-solving, and innovative thought. When individuals brainstorm or think outside the box, they often tap into memory, divergent thinking, and even emotional centers to generate ideas. This collaborative effort among various parts of the brain speaks against the 10% myth. It showcases a rich tapestry of cognitive resources working in concert, rather than a single fraction being in use while the rest lies dormant. It is crucial to address how the myth of using only 10% of our brains can shape perceptions of our capability. Some may feel limited in their intellectual potential or become complacent, thinking they have yet to unlock a wealth of untapped power. In reality, our brains are high-functioning engines producing remarkable feats of cognition, emotion, creativity, and memory, even without needing to activate every area simultaneously. Additionally, understanding the brain's true potential should inspire us to foster lifelong learning and personal growth. Embracing challenges, engaging in creative pursuits, and exploring new interests can enhance our cognitive adaptability and overall mental wellness. These ventures might not only improve our existing skills, but may also facilitate the formation of new neural connections, showcasing the brain's inherent ability to grow and evolve. In conclusion, the idea that we only utilize 10% of our brains stands as a myth, debunked by comprehensive neuroscience research that illustrates the intricate complexities and capabilities of our brain. The active interplay among various regions reflects a dynamic and adaptable organ, constantly evolving in response to learning and experience. This revelation about our cognitive potential encourages a broader perspective on human intelligence, creativity, and continuous exploration. Now, instead of thinking about limitations, we can celebrate the incredible capabilities our brains offer, inviting curiosity and wonder about the vast possibilities that await us within our own minds. For many years, a common belief has persisted that cracking your knuckles can lead to arthritis. This idea is so widespread that many of us remember being told not to crack our knuckles because it would ultimately result in sore, stiff joints, or even arthritis. However, recent insights challenge this age-old assumption and bring a sense of clarity to this intriguing topic. To understand the relationship between knuckle cracking and arthritis, we first need to explore what happens when we crack our knuckles. The process often involves a stretching of the joint capsule, which can create a distinct popping sound. This sound is the result of gas bubbles forming and then rapidly collapsing within the synovial fluid, a substance that lubricates joints and helps them move smoothly. It is a fascinating phenomenon, showcasing the dynamic environment within our joints. Despite what you might have heard, extensive research shows no direct link between knuckle cracking and the development of arthritis. A notable study conducted by Dr. Donald Unger, who cracked the knuckles of one hand for over 60 years, while leaving the other hand alone, found no evidence of arthritis in either hand. His findings sparked significant interest and added scientific credibility to the argument that cracking knuckles does not increase the risk of joint conditions, including arthritis. Arthritis itself refers to a group of more than 100 conditions that affect the joints, characterized often by inflammation, pain, and stiffness. The most common types are osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, which have their own unique causes and risk factors. Factors such as age, genetics, previous injuries, and lifestyle choices play a significant role in developing arthritis, far more than the habit of knuckle cracking ever could. For instance, a person's weight can exert substantial pressure on the joints, contributing to the risk of developing conditions like osteoarthritis in the knees and hips over time. It is essential to note that while cracking your knuckles is generally not harmful in itself, some individuals may experience discomfort or tenderness in their hands or fingers post-cracking. This discomfort can arise from excessive force or repetitive motion rather than the act of cracking itself. Similarly, if someone is frequently cracking their knuckles to relieve tension or pain, it might be more indicative of an underlying issue that requires attention. The belief that knuckle cracking leads to arthritis may also stem from the association between joint sounds and discomfort. People often associate noise with problems, but the sound of knuckle cracking does not indicate any damage being done to the joint. In fact, the relief that some individuals feel after cracking their knuckles may be due to increased mobility or the release of tension in the joint. Furthermore, considering that many people crack their knuckles and only a minority go on to develop arthritis, it suggests that the behavior alone does not hold significant weight in the development of joint issues. The myth may also be supported by cultural beliefs or personal anecdotes that perpetuate the fear of joint damage. Our society frequently gravitates towards simple explanations for complex health phenomena, which could have contributed to the persistence of this particular myth. Interestingly, while cracking your knuckles has not been linked to arthritis, it can sometimes be seen as a social behavior. Some individuals crack their knuckles out of habit or to relieve anxiety, creating a sense of comfort in stressful situations. This act may serve as an outlet, both physically and psychologically. For others, it is merely a fidgeting motion that provides a moment of distraction. In the scope of joint health, there are far more effective and scientifically supported ways to promote joint function and flexibility. Engaging in regular physical activity, maintaining a healthy weight, and incorporating strength training into one's routine are all beneficial for joint health. Additionally, a diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and vitamins can contribute positively. Foods such as salmon, walnuts, and leafy greens play a role in reducing inflammation and supporting the body's overall joint health. If individuals are concerned about their knuckle cracking habit or experiencing joint discomfort, it can be beneficial to consult with a medical professional. They can provide personalized advice and explore any underlying issues that may contribute to joint pain or stiffness, ensuring that individuals have the healthiest joints possible. In conclusion, the belief that cracking your knuckles causes arthritis is a myth supported more by tradition than science. The act of cracking knuckles is a harmless habit that doesn't appear to contribute to joint diseases. Instead, focusing on healthy lifestyle choices and understanding the body's mechanics can pave the way for better joint health and mobility. So the next time you hear someone caution against cracking their knuckles, you can confidently share the latest insights on this interesting topic, separating fact from fiction in the journey of health and wellness. The phrase lightning never strikes twice is a common saying, often used to imply that one should not expect the same misfortune or unusual event to happen again. However, when it comes to lightning itself, this phrase is misleading. In fact, lightning can and does strike the same place multiple times, especially within specific contexts. To understand this phenomenon better, let's first explore what lightning is. Lightning is an electrical discharge caused by imbalances between storm clouds and the ground or within the clouds themselves. During a thunderstorm, vast quantities of water droplets and ice particles within the clouds collide and create electric charges. As these charges build up, they eventually seek a path to equalize and balance the charge, resulting in a dramatic flash of light accompanied by the sound of thunder. One of the most compelling examples of lightning striking the same place repeatedly is the Empire State Building in New York City. This iconic skyscraper is equipped with a lightning rod at its peak, designed specifically to handle the immense electrical energy associated with lightning strikes. Interestingly, this building experiences around 20 to 25 lightning strikes each year. The height of the structure makes it an attractive target for lightning. In general, tall objects like skyscrapers, radio towers, and even trees are prone to being struck by lightning more frequently because they provide a shorter pathway for the electrical discharge. Another fascinating example is the Willis Tower, formerly known as the Sears Tower, also in Chicago. This building, at its impressive height of 1,450 feet, is not only one of the tallest buildings in the United States, but also a frequent lightning strike target. The building is equipped with an effective grounding system, ensuring that the electrical energy from lightning can be safely dissipated into the ground, preventing any damage to the structure itself. Even natural landmarks are often struck by lightning multiple times. Mount Washington in New Hampshire is known for its treacherous weather and is one of the most lightning-struck locations in the United States. Storms develop rapidly in this region, causing frequent strikes that can be extremely dangerous to hikers and climbers before they find shelter. In contrast to the common saying, lightning serves as a great reminder of how nature functions with its own set of rules. This misbelief is similar to other sayings that often reflect a misunderstanding of random events. Lightning strikes are influenced by environmental factors and the characteristics of specific locations, meaning that certain spots can indeed experience repeated strikes, while others may remain untouched. The primary factor for lightning strikes lies in the height and isolation of an object. An isolated tree in a wide open field is significantly more likely to be struck than a dense forest with shorter trees surrounding it. This is due to the tree being the tallest object available for the electrical discharge to collide with. Studies have shown that lightning prefers the highest points in an area and can even prefer certain materials. For instance, metal structures often facilitate discharge better than wooden ones. Additionally, lightning can strike the same location in rapid succession during a single storm event. Multiple strikes can occur easily in a matter of seconds, especially in intense storms where cloud activity is high, contributing to the chaotic nature of the electrical discharges. The sound of thunder that follows is merely the rapid expansion of heated air formed when lightning zaps through the atmosphere. Another interesting aspect of lightning is its interaction with the ground. When lightning strikes the earth, it can create a number of fascinating and hazardous geological phenomena known as fulgurates. These are glassy tubes formed when the intense heat of a lightning bolt, which can exceed temperatures of 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit, melts the sand or soil in the immediate area. The quick cooling can lead to intricate glass-like structures that are both beautiful and a testament to the power of nature. In summary, The notion that lightning never strikes twice is a misunderstanding of how this natural phenomenon works. In reality, lightning can strike the same location repeatedly, especially tall structures and isolated objects. This is an essential part of understanding weather patterns and respecting the power of nature. So next time you hear the saying, remember that when it comes to lightning, the rules of nature are much more complex and fascinating than simple adages suggest. In the dance of electricity and nature, the only certainty is that lightning will strike where it chooses, often returning to familiar ground. Whether it be a skyscraper, a lonely tree, or a mountain peak, the Earth offers many stages for the spectacular light show of lightning to play out time and time again, reminding us of the incredible forces at work in our world. The 5-second rule is a well-known saying that suggests if you drop food on the floor and pick it up within 5 seconds, it is still safe to eat. Many people have used this rule as a way to justify that quick snatch back to safety, especially if the snack was particularly delicious, like a warm cookie or a slice of pizza. However, what does science say about this widely held belief? First, let's consider the nature of bacteria. Microscopic organisms, known as bacteria, are everywhere. They exist in our homes, on our skin, and yes, even on the floors we walk on. Many bacteria are harmless or even beneficial, but some can cause illness. When food hits the ground, it is exposed to these bacteria, no matter how brief that moment might be. Research has shown that bacteria can transfer to food almost instantly. It doesn't take 5 seconds. It can happen in less than 1 second. Think of it as a quick exchange. The food touches a surface, and just like that, bacteria can hop onto it. The type of surface is crucial in this scenario too. For example, if you accidentally drop a piece of candy on a clean, sanitized countertop, the transfer of harmful bacteria will likely be minimal. But if it lands on a floor in a busy public place like a restaurant or a subway platform, the chances of contamination increase significantly. One fascinating study from the University of Maryland examined this phenomenon in greater detail. Researchers dropped various types of food, such as watermelon, bread, and gummy candy, on different types of surfaces, including tile, wood, and carpet, for various time intervals. They found that the longer food remained on the floor, the more bacteria transferred, but even a brief encounter was enough for a significant pickup of bacteria. In some cases, less than 5 seconds was all it took for those sneaky germs to latch on. Now, let's delve into the surfaces themselves. Smooth surfaces, like tiles, are more conducive to bacterial transfer compared to textured surfaces like carpet. While the latter can absorb some food particles and bacteria, the former offers a smooth landing strip for bacteria to flourish. Thus, the best surface to drop food on might just be the one that can catch it without inviting too many unwanted guests. Moreover, moisture plays a critical role. Wet foods like juicy fruits or sticky candies attract more bacteria when they hit the floor compared to dry snacks. Picture a slice of watermelon versus a potato chip. The juicy texture of watermelon can absorb bacteria from a wet floor more easily than a dry chip, making that quick retrieval seem less appealing. Additionally, there is a human factor involved. Our perceptions influence our decisions about food safety. People tend to ignore the science when they are hungry, justifying their choices with anecdotes or the fast-paced environment they might be in. That warm slice of pie might look tempting, and without thinking, it's quickly back in hand, ready for consumption. However, awareness of what could be lurking on the floor might lead to a more cautious approach. Another layer to consider is the immune system. Our bodies are equipped with remarkable defenses to combat harmful bacteria and infections. For many healthy individuals, the occasional ingestion of tiny amounts of bacteria from dropped food may not pose a significant health risk. However, this does not mean the practice is without consequences. Certain populations, such as young children, the elderly, pregnant women, or those with weakened immune systems, should exercise more caution. It's also important to note personal decisions. Ultimately, whether or not to follow the 5-second rule comes down to individual comfort levels and risk assessments. If someone carefully weighs the potential risks, including how clean the environment is, who they are with, and their own health, they may decide to let that 5-second rule slide. In summary, the 5-second rule serves as an interesting point of discussion about food safety and our perceptions of cleanliness. While it might provide a moment of rationalization when you find your favorite snack on the floor, the science shows us that it is not just about the time spent on the ground. It's about the conditions surrounding it. Understanding how bacteria work will help shape our choices. The next time a morsel of food tumbles, remember the factors at play: the surface, the moisture, and your own health. It might change how you view that quick retrieval and remind you that, sometimes, it's better to leave that snack right where it landed. Goldfish are often thought to possess a memory span of only 3 seconds. This popular myth has circulated widely, leading many to dismiss the cognitive abilities of these fascinating creatures. However, extensive research has debunked this misunderstanding, revealing that goldfish are capable of remembering information for much longer periods, sometimes even for several months. To understand goldfish memory more clearly, it is helpful to explore how they navigate their environment and interact with their surroundings. Goldfish have been observed showing a range of behaviors that suggest they can retain information. For instance, studies have demonstrated that goldfish can learn to associate specific actions with rewards. When trained to carry out a task, such as swimming through a maze to find food, these fish can recall how to complete the maze long after the training session has ended, showcasing their ability to retain learned information. Research involving colored visual cues has also shown that goldfish can memorize and recognize different shades. In a controlled experiment, goldfish were trained to respond to a particular color associated with feeding time. The results indicated that these fish could remember the color for quite some time, returning to the correct spot in their tank, even after several weeks of no reinforcement. This ability to associate certain colors with food demonstrates a level of memory and cognitive complexity that contradicts the 3-second myth. Moreover, goldfish have shown capabilities in social learning. In observational studies, they have been seen mimicking the behavior of other fish. When one goldfish successfully navigated to a hidden food source, others watched and then replicated the behavior, suggesting that they remember and learn from what they see. This type of learning is a vital survival strategy in the wild, where social interactions can play a significant role in seeking food or avoiding predators. Even more impressively, goldfish can recognize their owners and respond to familiar stimuli. Many pet owners have observed their goldfish swimming to the surface when they approach the tank, indicating an understanding that this person is associated with being fed. This recognition reflects not only a memory of who interacts with them, but also an understanding of routine and environment. The notion that goldfish are limited by a short memory is largely a result of misunderstanding the complexity of their brain structure. Though they have smaller brains compared to other animals, the regions associated with memory and learning are still quite functional. The idea of a 3-second memory fails to consider that these fish possess the neurological capacity to form associations and recall past experiences. In the broader context, goldfish memory challenges our perceptions of intelligence in the animal kingdom. It encourages us to reconsider the cognitive capabilities of various species, especially those we often perceive as simple or unintelligent. Observing goldfish interact with their environment and exhibit learned behaviors serves as a reminder that memory is not solely an attribute of larger or more complex animals. Exploring the world of goldfish is not only a journey into their memory, but also an invitation to appreciate the nuances of aquatic life. Their shimmering scales, graceful movements, and intriguing behaviors make them captivating companions. Understanding their ability to remember adds another layer of depth to our appreciation of these enchanting creatures. As we delve deeper into marine biology and the cognitive abilities of various species, it is crucial to acknowledge the potential complexities within all creatures, regardless of their size or perceived simplicity. Goldfish, with their long-term memory capabilities, are a testament to the wonders of nature and the diverse forms of intelligence that exist within our planet's ecosystem. Whether keeping them as pets or observing them in their natural habitats, taking time to learn about goldfish enriches our knowledge of aquatic life. It highlights the interconnectedness of species and the importance of respecting their intelligence. This insight serves as a gentle push to celebrate the diversity of life on Earth and to understand that each creature world possesses its own unique adaptations and capabilities. The journey of understanding goldfish is not merely about challenging myths, but also about fostering a connection between ourselves and the creatures we share this world with. By appreciating their memory and intelligence, we gain a greater perspective on the life beneath the water's surface, reminding us of the untold stories waiting in the ripples and currents. Thus, our fascination with goldfish encourages curiosity, respect, and appreciation for life's varied forms, highlighting that even the smallest creatures can be filled with remarkable surprises. The belief that sugar causes hyperactivity in children has been around for decades. Many parents have observed that after a child consumes sugary treats, they seem to burst with energy, laughing and running around. This observation has led to a common assumption that sugar consumption is directly linked to increased activity levels. However, when we delve into scientific research, the relationship between sugar and hyperactivity is more complex than it appears at first glance. Numerous studies have explored the potential connection between sugar intake and behavior in children. For years, one of the most notable pieces of research was a study conducted in the early 1990s, which sought to examine the effects of sugar on children's behavior. Researchers divided children into groups, with one group receiving beverages sweetened with sugar, while the other group received artificially sweetened drinks. Surprisingly, both groups displayed similar activity levels and behaviors, suggesting no significant link between sugar and hyperactivity. What makes this topic even more intriguing is the influence of expectations and beliefs. In several studies, researchers have noticed that when parents believe their children have consumed sugar, they often report more hyperactive behavior. In contrast, when children consume the same amount of sugar without the parents' knowledge, the reported behavior does not change. This phenomenon highlights the powerful role that perception plays in our experience. To further explore these findings, let us examine the reason behind the common belief that sugar leads to hyperactivity. Marketing plays a significant role in shaping public perception. Sweet snacks and treats are often marketed toward children with bright colors and fun characters, creating an association between sugar consumption and excitement. This marketing strategy may reinforce the idea that sugary treats result in energy bursts, even if the scientific evidence does not support this claim. Additionally, The setting in which sugar is consumed often contributes to the perception of hyperactivity. Many celebrations, such as birthday parties or holiday events, involve gatherings where sugary snacks and treats are abundant. The excitement of the occasion, combined with the sugar-laden treats, may create an energetic atmosphere, leading adults to attribute the children's behavior solely to the sugar itself. Moreover, the timing of sugar consumption can also play a role. Children are often given sugary snacks during specific moments of excitement, such as festivals, holidays, or celebrations. These occasions naturally lend themselves to a higher level of energy and enthusiasm. As such, it becomes difficult to isolate sugar as the sole cause of increased activity. It is also important to note that children can exhibit fluctuations in their energy levels and moods throughout the day. Various factors can contribute to these changes, including sleep patterns, physical activity, and overall diet. A balanced diet filled with adequate nutrients can promote stable energy levels, while a poor diet might result in mood swings and fluctuations in activity. Thus, rather than blaming sugar directly, it may be more beneficial to focus on overall nutrition. Parents and caregivers can support children's health by promoting a balanced diet and healthy lifestyle. Encouraging children to engage in physical activities, consuming a variety of fruits and vegetables, and maintaining a regular eating schedule can contribute to consistent energy levels. In doing so, they may find that the child's behavior stabilizes, regardless of occasional sugar intake. Furthermore, it is essential to consider the influence of social environment. Children are highly impressionable and often mimic the behaviors and attitudes of their peers. If they observe their friends indulging in sugary treats, they may feel compelled to join in and match that energy, further fueling the notion that sugar is the cause of their excitement. In conclusion, while it is a common belief that sugar makes kids hyperactive, scientific studies consistently fail to establish a direct link between the two. The nuances of environmental influences, expectations, and social contexts all contribute to this complex issue. Instead of focusing solely on sugar, parents and guardians could adopt a more holistic approach to a child's health and behavior by promoting a balanced diet and encouraging active, healthy lifestyles. By doing so, they might discover that energy levels and behaviors are shaped by a variety of factors rather than a single sugary treat. Have you ever heard the intriguing notion that hair and nails continue to grow after death? This idea has fascinated many over the years, sparking curiosity and sometimes a bit of fear about what happens to our bodies after we pass on. However, let's delve into this myth and uncover the truth behind it. First, let's consider what happens to the human body at the moment of death. When a person dies, their body begins a process called post-mortem changes. These changes encompass a series of physiological reactions that occur once the heart stops beating. One of the most notable early changes is the cooling of the body, known as algor mortis. Just like a pot of boiling water cools down, the body begins to lose its warmth. As the body undergoes these changes, another significant process called dehydration begins. This isn't the same as the dehydration we may experience while alive. Rather, it pertains to the loss of moisture from the body's tissues. As time passes, the skin starts to lose its elasticity and moisture. The skin will gradually retract, leading to the illusion that hair and nails are lengthening. This happens because the skin pulls back from the hair follicles and nail beds, creating a visual effect where hair seems more prominent and fingernails appear longer. Imagine this, like peeling back a thin layer of an onion. As you remove the outer layer, what's left is more exposed and seems bigger than before. This shrinkage can also create the misleading appearance of growth, where none actually occurs. It's similar to how plants can look more vibrant when they are in a smaller pot, where the roots seem entangled and prominent due to restricted space. However, in the case of hair and nails, it's purely an optical illusion, a trick played by the natural processes of decomposition. The process of decomposition itself is fascinating. It begins almost immediately after death, as bacteria and enzymes in our bodies begin to break down tissues. This natural cycle is vital for returning nutrients to the earth. During decomposition, hair and nails remain structurally unchanged, despite the visual changes we observe, leading to the enduring myth that they continue to grow. To clarify further, hair and nails are both made of a protein called keratin. This tough and fibrous protein is what gives them structure and resilience. In living individuals, hair and nails grow through an active process of cell division. However, after death, the cells can no longer undergo this division. The biological mechanisms that allow growth cease entirely when circulation and metabolism shut down. Therefore, even though hair and nails may appear longer due to skin retraction, in reality, they have not grown at all. This myth has permeated various cultures and found its way into folklore and horror stories, sometimes used as a device to invoke feelings of dread or mystery. Visual representations in movies often depict an exaggeration of this phenomenon, using it to create suspense or to suggest that something supernatural is at play. The mystique surrounding this concept speaks to our natural fear of the unknown and our innate curiosity about what happens after we no longer exist in the physical world. Moreover, it's important to consider how our perceptions of death and our bodies shape our understanding of this process. As a society, we often avoid discussing death, focusing instead on life and growth. This contributes to the intrigue surrounding such myths, as they provide a way to explore mortality without addressing the realities of the physical condition. While the myth of hair and nails growing after death is an exaggerated tale, it serves as a window into human fascination with life beyond death. The natural biology of our bodies continues to inspire stories, legends, and artistic expressions, reflecting how we cope with concepts of mortality. Ultimately, the truth behind hair and nail growth after death can be summarized as a byproduct of natural post-mortem changes rather than a sign of life persisting beyond the grave. Instead of growth, what we witness is an illusion, a reminder of the complex processes that our bodies undergo after we breathe our last. So, next time you hear about hair and nails growing after death, remember the science behind it. It is not an indication of continued life, but rather a fascinating glimpse into the cycles of life and death, revealing insights into our own biology and the stories that have emerged from our struggles to comprehend what lies beyond our existence. Toads and frogs often find their way into our narratives and folklore, leading to a variety of myths and misconceptions. One of the most enduring myths is the belief that toads cause warts. It is common to hear someone say that touching a toad will result in unsightly bumps appearing on your skin. However, the truth is much more fascinating and revolves around the complex world of viruses rather than amphibian interactions. Warts, those rough, raised bumps that can appear on various parts of the body, are caused primarily by the human papillomavirus, often abbreviated as HPV. This virus can enter the skin through tiny cuts or abrasions, leading to the formation of warts. The connection between this virus and the creatures of the water or land is non-existent, despite how frequently the two are linked in our imaginations. Consider for a moment the various types of warts that exist. Common warts usually show up on the fingers or hands, while plantar warts can appear on the soles of your feet. Each type is associated with specific strains of HPV, which can easily spread through direct skin-to-skin contact, or by sharing personal items like towels or razors. It's fascinating how the human body can react to these viruses, forming a protective barrier that takes on a distinctly different texture from the surrounding skin. In many ways, the fear of warts has contributed to the mystique of toads and frogs, creatures that, despite their slimy or bumpy appearances, play essential roles in our ecosystem. Toads are remarkable little beings, helping to control insect populations and serving as indicators of environmental health. Yet, the myths surrounding them can overshadow their ecological significance. There is also a cultural aspect to consider. Throughout history, toads have been painted as harbingers of bad luck or signs of witchcraft. In fairy tales, they are often portrayed as the whimsical transformation of a cursed prince or princess. These stories have perpetuated the idea that merely touching a toad could lead to all sorts of undesirable outcomes, including developing warts. Interestingly, some people might develop warts while they are spending time outdoors, or in natural settings where they might encounter toads. This correlation has led to the erroneous assumption that the toads had something to do with it. In truth, the warts could very well be due to the virus lurking nearby in an environment that facilitates its transmission, such as a community pool or playground, where children often engage in close contact. The myth that touching toads leads to warts might also be rooted in our historical relationship with nature. In times when medical knowledge was limited, those who observed that warts appeared after contact with specific animals might have drawn a connection based on coincidence rather than understanding. Our ancestors may have interpreted natural events through the lens of their belief systems, attributing health issues to the creatures they encountered. Additionally, the location of warts can add to the misunderstanding. For instance, some children might develop warts during the summer months after playing outside and encountering toads and frogs frequently. In these cases, it's easy to make the erroneous leap in logic. The toads, however, are entirely innocent in this matter. In a world where information travels rapidly, it is helpful to sift through the facts and dispel the myths surrounding warts and toads. The real conversation should be about the importance of hygiene and awareness of how viruses spread, rather than focusing on the unfounded fear of these amphibians. To appreciate toads for their true nature and roles in the environment is to recognize their beneficial impact. They feast on insects, maintaining the balance of ecosystems, and they are often seen as indicators of a healthy ecosystem. Their populations can even reflect changes in environmental conditions, as they are sensitive to pollution and habitat destruction. In conclusion, the connection between toads and warts is a tale rooted more in myth than reality. Instead of fearing these creatures, we should admire their place in our world, understanding that warts are caused by viruses that thrive in specific environments and not from fleeting contact with a toad. By acknowledging the facts and separating them from folklore, we can cultivate a greater respect for the natural world and its inhabitants, steering clear of misunderstandings that have persisted for generations. The iconic image of a Viking warrior sporting a horned helmet is one that permeates our culture, thanks in large part to romanticized representations in media and art. The image evokes the fierce and adventurous spirit of the Viking Age, a period traditionally dated from around 800 to 1100 CE. However, when we delve into the historical evidence, we find that this image is not an accurate portrayal of how Vikings equipped themselves for battle. To begin understanding the truth behind Viking helmets, we must explore the origins of the horned helmet myth. Quite possibly, The misconception stems from the desire to create striking imagery in various forms of storytelling. Horned helmets were visually compelling and suggested wild, untamed warriors, enhancing their larger-than-life reputation. In reality, archaeological finds and historical accounts offer us a more restrained picture. When examining actual Viking artifacts, the evidence overwhelmingly points toward practical helmet designs. Many excavated helmets were made from materials such as iron and leather, crafted smartly to provide adequate protection in combat. They often had a rounded shape, which was effective at deflecting blows. The most famous example is the German Bow helmet, discovered in Norway in the 1950s, which dates back to the early Viking Age. This helmet features a rounded top and a face guard, supporting the theory that functionality was prioritized over flamboyance. Researchers have uncovered numerous other Viking burial sites, and many have yielded helmets lacking any armor adorned with horns. Instead, these designs were resolute and efficient. It's worth noting that while embellished, horned helmets did exist in certain cultures. These nations and tribes were different from the Vikings. For instance, depictions of horned helmets appear in ancient depictions from other regions, but they were not typical for Norse warriors. The fascination with horned helmets may also have been fueled by earlier artistic representations. In the 19th century, Romantic artists and writers depicted Vikings wearing such helmets, aligning their narratives with the then prevalent fascination for drama and heroism. These artistic expressions often took liberties with historical accuracy, favoring sensationalism over truth. For audiences seeking tales of valor, the imagery of Viking warriors with horned helmets provided the perfect backdrop. Furthermore, we can see how these horned helmets slipped into broader culture. The Viking revival movement of the 19th century, sparked by a growing interest in Norse mythology and history, deepened this association between horns and Vikings. This cultural melding often leads to oversimplified and exaggerated representations, echoing through literature, cinema, and even theme parks, where the Viking image is romanticized to appeal to modern audiences. Interestingly, the idea of horned helmets was further perpetuated by later theatrical productions, including Wagner's operas featuring Norse deities and heroes. In these grandiose narratives, the glorious Viking image, complete with horned helmets, contributed to the mythos surrounding these storied figures, embedding them firmly in popular culture and public imagination. The misconception persists even today, with horned helmets continuing to appear in various media, from cartoons to popular video games. They have become symbolic of the Viking identity, a representation that often overshadows the true historical context. The allure of these outlandish helmets may never fully fade, as they evoke a sense of adventure and boldness that resonates with many people. However, historians and archaeologists continue to work diligently to set the historical record straight. Each excavation site adds to our understanding of Viking life and their battle attire, digging deeper into the rich tapestry of Norse history. The real story is how Vikings equipped themselves, favoring practicality and mobility, focusing on battle gear that allowed for swift and effective combat. In the grand narrative of Viking culture, helmets without horns also symbolize resilience and ingenuity. They represent a society that thrived in a harsh environment, needing to forge tools and weapons that would ensure survival and success in their ventures. The true Viking spirit was embodied in the strength of their craftsmanship rather than whimsical adornments. As we explore further into the Viking era, we can uncover the stories behind their weapons, ships, and everyday items. Each piece of equipment tells a tale of exploration, trade, and the complexities of their society. These warriors traveled far beyond their homeland, raiding and trading in far-flung territories, building intricate relationships that would shape history. Looking at the details of their daily life and warfare reveals much about their culture. Historical texts, sagas, and personal accounts from that time provide insights that go beyond the sensationalized images. From the craftsmanship of swords to the design of ships, like the long ships that allowed them to cross oceans, the innovation reflects a people driven by necessity and ambition. As we learn about Vikings, let us appreciate the truths behind the myths. The heritage of this fascinating group of people lies not in horned helmets, but rather in their adaptability and resilience. Their legacy reaches far beyond the sensationalized image, embodying an enduring spirit that continues to captivate and inspire us. In revisiting history, we allow ourselves to gain a clearer understanding of this incredible civilization, encouraging a more genuine representation for future generations. Thus, as we reflect on the Viking Age, may we embrace not just their fierce warrior image, but also their cunning, skilled craftsmanship and enduring legacy that shapes our understanding of history today. The topic of shaving and its effects on hair has been a subject of discussion and sometimes misunderstanding for many years. One common belief is that shaving makes hair grow back thicker and darker. But what does science say about this claim? First, let's understand the anatomy of hair. Hair is made up of a protein called keratin, and its color and thickness are determined by genetics. When hair is shaved, it doesn't actually change the structure or the characteristics of the hair follicle beneath the skin. The process of shaving simply cuts the hair at the skin's surface. This means that the natural qualities of the hair, its color, thickness, and texture, remain unchanged by the act of shaving. When hair grows back after shaving, it might seem coarser, and here's why. Shaving removes the hair at a blunt edge, which can give the appearance of a thicker or stubbier hair. Additionally, the new hair growth can feel firmer compared to the softer, tapered ends of unshaven hair. However, this is a temporary effect. As hair continues to grow, it will return to its natural state, which may be finer or softer in appearance. Another factor that affects how we perceive hair after shaving is the different growth cycles of hair follicles. Each hair grows in a cycle consisting of a growth phase, a resting phase, and a shedding phase. After shaving, you may notice new hair coming in that feels different, simply because it is in a different phase of growth. As more time passes, the hair will revert to its usual texture and characteristics. A key point to keep in mind is that the perception of thickness can also be influenced by the density of hair growth. For instance, if someone has naturally thick hair, shaving it might create an illusion of even greater thickness upon regrowth compared to someone with finer hair. The experience can vary widely among individuals based on their unique hair type. Moreover, cultural practices and personal grooming habits also play a significant role in how people perceive hair and its growth patterns. In some cultures, shaving is a common practice that can be tied to rituals or personal preference. Individuals may choose to shave for a plethora of reasons, including hygiene, aesthetics, and comfort. Each of these practices can affect how one perceives changes in hair over time. It's interesting to note that hair coloration can also lead to the belief that shaved hair grows back darker. Often, the contrast between lighter skin and dark hair can make new growth appear more pronounced shortly after shaving. Upon regrowth, the hair's natural color resumes, and the initial perceived difference fades. When it comes to the question of whether shaving can affect hair growth in terms of quantity, it's important to reiterate that hair follicles operate independently of any external shaving. The number of hair follicles on the scalp or body does not increase or decrease with shaving. Thus, shaving does not result in more hair being produced overall, merely in the appearance of how it feels and looks when it grows back. People often explore various methods of hair removal, from shaving to waxing, and even laser treatments. Each method has different effects on hair texture and growth. While waxing and other methods may remove hair from the root and can sometimes slow regrowth, shaving cuts hair at the surface and has no lasting impact on the follicle itself. In conclusion, the idea that shaving causes hair to grow back thicker or darker is a myth. The hair's natural growth characteristics are determined by genetics and hormonal factors. Shaving simply removes hair at the skin's surface without altering its inherent properties. The perception of coarser hair growth is a temporary experience influenced by the way hair is cut and its appearance upon regrowth. It's beneficial to understand these facts to dispel common misconceptions and foster a clearer understanding of hair growth and grooming practices. Ultimately, personal grooming choices, including shaving, should align with individual preferences and comfort rather than myths or societal expectations about hair growth. Embracing one's natural hair characteristics is an empowering choice, allowing individuals to feel confident and authentic in their appearance. As we continue to explore the complexities of hair growth, we can appreciate the beauty of our unique hair journeys without the weight of misconception. Mount Everest, standing proudly at 8,848.86 meters above sea level, is widely celebrated as the tallest mountain on our planet. It is a destination for climbers from around the globe, all hoping to conquer its majestic peak and stand at the roof of the world. Everest is located in the Himalayas, straddling the border between Nepal and the Tibet Autonomous Region of China. The mountain is revered not only for its impressive height, but also for the breathtaking beauty of its surroundings. The stark, rugged landscape, with its deep valleys and snow-covered slopes, creates a scene that can only be described as awe-inspiring. However, an interesting fact that often surprises many is that the tallest mountain in the world, when measured from base to peak, is not Mount Everest, but Mauna Kea. Located on the Big Island of Hawaii, Mauna Kea reaches an impressive height of about 10,210 meters, when measured from its base on the ocean floor to its summit. When one considers that a significant portion of Mauna Kea lies submerged beneath the waves of the Pacific Ocean, it quickly becomes clear why its true height is often overlooked. The ocean floor, where Mauna Kea begins, is about 6,000 meters deep. This means that while Everest is higher when looking only at sea level, Mauna Kea is the ultimate king in terms of height from the very bottom of the ocean to its peak. The comparison between these two giants also brings to light the various ways we evaluate elevation. Everest, with its peak towering high above sea level, presents climbers with specific challenges such as the risk of altitude sickness and extreme weather conditions. This relentless environment, characterized by fierce winds and plummeting temperatures, is what drives climbers to prepare intensely before embarking on expeditions. The icy crags and challenging terrain of Everest have become a rite of passage for many mountaineers, making it a dream destination. On the other hand, Mauna Kea offers a different kind of experience. While the climb to the summit is shorter, it is equally demanding due to the high elevation and altitude effects. Mauna Kea is also home to some of the world's most advanced astronomical observatories due to its almost permanent cloudless skies and minimal light pollution. The summit of Mauna Kea provides a unique vantage point for stargazing and offers the chance to witness celestial phenomena in remarkably clear detail. The mountain also holds cultural significance to the native Hawaiian people, serving as a sacred site for ancient rituals and beliefs. In terms of both beauty and challenge, both Everest and Mauna Kea present unique experiences. Everest embodies the ultimate test of endurance and skill, attracting the most daring adventurers. Its imposing height and rugged landscape create a formidable yet mesmerizing backdrop. Conversely, Mauna Kea offers a serene sanctuary where science and culture coexist. It is a place where the beauty of nature intertwines with human curiosity and exploration, making it a treasure on Earth. The journeys to the tops of these mountains are not just physical conquests, but also personal journeys of discovery. Each climber that finds their way to Everest is embarking on a quest filled with determination, strength, and camaraderie. It is not uncommon to share the experience with a team of equally passionate climbers, forming bonds that can last a lifetime. The limelight of Everest has captured the imagination of many through books, films, and stories of those who have dared to tread its terrain. The allure of standing atop this iconic peak is often propelled by tales of perseverance and triumph over adversity. In contrast, reaching out to Mauna Kea can evoke a sense of peace and reflection, as well as a connection to the universe around us. The magnificent views from its summit during sunrise or sunset are truly unforgettable. Witnessing the sky gradually change colors, while surrounded by a landscape that seems to stretch into infinity, can evoke a profound sense of stillness. The unique mixture of natural beauty and cultural heritage at Mauna Kea offers insights into the importance of preserving our planet's delicate ecosystems. As we explore these mountains, we unveil the diverse experiences they hold, be it triumph, tranquility, or connection to nature. Delving into the heights of Everest and Mauna Kea allows us to discover not just the mountains themselves, but also the rich stories and traditions linked to them. Both may vie for the title of tallest mountain in our hearts and minds, but ultimately, they invite us to experience the world in its grandest form. Whether it's the challenge of scaling Everest or the serene beauty found atop Mauna Kea, both peaks inspire countless individuals to pursue their own adventures and embrace the beauty of our extraordinary planet. Ostriches, the world's largest birds, are often mischaracterized by the popular myth that they bury their heads in the sand when faced with danger. This misconception can create a humorous image, but it is quite far from the truth. In reality, ostriches do not bury their heads in the sand. Rather, they engage in behaviors that are more practical for their survival and nesting needs. Ostriches are remarkable creatures, evolving in the vast and open savannas of Africa. Their physical attributes are extraordinary. With a height that can reach over 9 feet and a powerful build, they are truly impressive characters in the animal kingdom. Unlike many birds, ostriches are flightless, but this does not hinder their ability to escape predators. Instead, they rely on their exceptional running skills, capable of sprinting at speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. Their strong legs not only help them run, but also serve as effective tools for defense. This powerful combination of speed and strength, paired with their keen eyesight that allows them to spot danger from a distance, makes ostriches well equipped to handle threats to their safety. So where does the myth of the ostrich burying its head come from? The origin can be traced back to the bird's behavior when it perceives danger. When an ostrich feels threatened, it may lower its head and neck flat against the ground, instinctively attempting to blend in with its surroundings. This behavior can mislead observers into thinking the bird is hiding its head in the sand, but this is far from what is actually occurring. The ostrich uses this strategy to remain inconspicuous and avoid detection by predators, such as lions or hyenas, which often rely on sight to hunt. Additionally, ostriches exhibit this head-lowering behavior during nesting season. Female ostriches lay their eggs in a communal nest, which is essentially a simple pit in the ground that can hold up to 60 eggs. During the process of turning the eggs, a female will often bend down and lower her head to the ground. This maneuver helps ensure the eggs are placed in a favorable position, turning them regularly to provide an even temperature for embryo development. The cooperative parenting among ostriches showcases a strong communal instinct, as both males and females take turns guarding the nest and ensuring the safety of their eggs. The idea that ostriches may bury their heads in the sand may also be rooted in a deeper metaphor, suggesting avoidance or denial in the face of danger. In human contexts, it refers to individuals who ignore problems rather than confronting them. However, ostriches are anything but avoidant. They are keenly aware of their surroundings, and this keen awareness, combined with their clever defensive strategies, helps them thrive in their environment. In addition to their fascinating behavioral patterns, ostriches also have unique anatomical features that set them apart. Their large eyes provide excellent vision, making them vigilant guardians of their territory. Their powerful legs are not only swift, but can deliver a powerful kick. An adult ostrich's kick is strong enough to defend against almost any threat. This blend of characteristics provides them a dual advantage: the ability to spot danger from afar and the means to escape or retaliate when necessary. As versatile as they are, ostriches fulfill vital ecological roles within their habitats. They are herbivores, primarily feeding on a diet of grasses, seeds, and shrubs. Their foraging habits help control plant growth and contribute to the ecosystem's overall health. Moreover, their droppings are an essential nutrient source, aiding the growth of various plant species. Ostrich farms have also gained popularity in recent years, as people seek to utilize these birds for their feathers, meat, and leather. These farming practices can offer a sustainable approach to agriculture while minimizing the impact on wild populations. As such, these large birds are becoming increasingly significant in both cultural and economic contexts. In summary, the idea that ostriches bury their heads is simply a misunderstanding of their fascinating behavior. Instead of hiding, ostriches employ specific tactics that reflect their intelligence and adaptability to the dangers of their environment. The next time you think of an ostrich, remember the majestic way they use their heads for more than just blending in. They are guardian parents, agile runners, and impressive beings that offer insights into the intricacies of survival in the wild. These dynamic creatures, with their combination of speed, strength, and nurturing instincts, represent a compelling chapter in the rich tapestry of nature, showcasing how wildlife navigates threats, nurturing the next generation, all while maintaining their silent watch over the vast African landscape. Napoleon Bonaparte is a figure shrouded in myth and legend, a military genius who rose to prominence during a turbulent time in Europe. One of the most enduring myths about him is the belief that he was extraordinarily short. This misconception has persisted through the ages, and today, many people still envision Napoleon as a diminutive figure, commanding giant armies. However, the truth about his height is far more nuanced and interesting. To understand the context of Napoleon's stature, we must take a look at the era in which he lived. Born in 1769 on the island of Corsica, Napoleon was part of a society where the average height for men was notably less than it is today. Historical records suggest that men in France, during the late 18th century, typically ranged between 5 feet 2 inches and 5 feet 6 inches tall. By these standards, Napoleon's height of about 5 feet 6 inches was quite average, if not slightly above. One reason behind the common perception that Napoleon was short lies in the confusion between French and British measurements. When reports about Napoleon's height were translated from French to English, there was a mix-up between the French inch and the British inch. This discrepancy contributed to the belief that he was shorter than he actually was. Furthermore, Napoleon was often depicted alongside his imperial guard, a group of exceptionally tall soldiers, which only emphasized the illusion of his small stature. Another factor fueling this myth is the reputation Napoleon cultivated through his own image and propaganda. He was acutely aware of how to present himself to the public. For instance, portraits often depicted him in a commanding stance, emphasizing his authority and power rather than his physical size. This artistic interpretation played a significant role in shaping the public's perception of him, allowing for the exaggeration of certain characteristics while downplaying others. Additionally, the notion of Napoleon as a small man has been linked to his larger-than-life personality. His ambitions on the battlefield and in politics led to remarkable achievements that sometimes overshadowed his physical presence. Think of it like this: when one possesses a towering intellect and commanding presence, additional physical stature may seem trivial. This contrast has likely contributed to the enduring myth that a short man could not wield such immense power. Furthermore, the idea of Napoleon as a short man became intertwined with cultural narratives surrounding the archetype of the underdog. People often relate more readily to figures who embody struggles and triumphs against the odds. By portraying him as small, a relatable story is created, one that depicts a great leader who overcame the limitations of his stature to become a dominant force in history. In literature and cinema, the stereotype of the small but mighty leader is pervasive. Characters that are physically small yet command respect often draw audiences' admiration, mirroring the narrative crafted around Napoleon. This dynamic highlights how narratives evolve, sometimes distorting facts in the process. Another interesting angle to consider is the psychological aspect of size and power. Throughout history, many leaders have been judged not just by their physical height, but by their ability to instill fear or admiration. For Napoleon, his military tactics, strategic acumen, and political brilliance were far more critical than his height. He demonstrated that leadership is often defined by one's actions and decisions rather than physical attributes. As we explore the myth of Napoleon's height, it is fascinating to recognize how society creates and perpetuates legend. History is rife with examples where the truth becomes a casualty in the name of storytelling. Over time, administrative records, personal accounts, and narratives morph, adding layers of complexity that can obscure the reality of historical figures. In light of this discussion, it is vital to distinguish between fact and fiction. The reality of Napoleon's height, average for his time, contrasts sharply with the image of a short, almost caricatured figure. This myth serves as a reminder of how powerful narratives can shape our understanding, leading us to believe in ideas rather than facts. In conclusion, to view Napoleon merely through the lens of his supposed short stature is to miss out on the many facets of his character and legacy. His accomplishments, influence, and strategic genius have left an indelible mark on history. As we disentangle the threads of myth and reality, we can appreciate the complex figure of Napoleon Bonaparte, not as a caricature confined by stature, but as a monumental personality who navigated the complexities of his time with remarkable skill and ambition. Thus, the narrative surrounding his height, while intriguing, ultimately serves to enhance, rather than diminish his story, as one of history's most fascinating leaders. Black holes are among the most fascinating phenomena in our universe, often shrouded in mystery and surrounded by misconceptions. One of the most persistent myths is that they act like cosmic vacuums, sucking in everything nearby. In reality, black holes are far more complex and behave according to the same laws of gravity as any other massive object in space. To understand this, we first need to establish what a black hole really is. A black hole is created when a massive star exhausts its nuclear fuel and collapses under its own gravity. This collapse compresses the star's mass into an incredibly small point called a singularity, surrounded by an event horizon. The event horizon is the boundary around the black hole, beyond which nothing can escape, not even light. That is where the term black comes from, as no light can be emitted from within this region. Imagine a black hole as a deep well in the fabric of space-time. The gravitational pull of the black hole is strongest at the edge of this well. If you are far away from the well, it is quite easy to escape its gravitational pull, similar to how you can move away from any large celestial body like Earth or the Sun. If you are close enough to a black hole, however, you might find it very difficult to escape its grasp, but this depends on your proximity and speed, just like a planet orbiting a star. Now consider how gravity works with an object like Earth. Its gravity pulls objects toward it, but if you throw a ball upward with enough force, it will overcome Earth's gravity and rise into the air. This principle applies to black holes as well. An object can orbit a black hole if it has sufficient velocity and is positioned at a safe distance. Black holes do not roam through the universe, scooping up everything in their path. They are stationary points in space that exert gravity like any other massive object. The danger lies only in getting too close. Think of a black hole as the center of a gravitational dance. Planets, stars, and gas clouds in the vicinity are like dancers, moving gracefully around, responding to the pull of the black hole. They can swirl around it, sometimes even sharing a cosmic partnership that allows them to remain at a safe distance. This balance is delicate, and if any dancer strays too close, they risk being drawn into the depths of the black hole's gravity well. There are different types of black holes, including stellar black holes, which typically form from dying stars, and supermassive black holes, which reside at the centers of galaxies and contain millions to billions of times the mass of our Sun. The supermassive black hole at the center of our Milky Way galaxy is called Sagittarius A, and it influences the orbits of nearby stars while remaining a seemingly invisible force. While black holes are incredibly dense, they don't disrupt the orbits of stars and other celestial bodies unless those bodies venture too close. Black holes can also be considered as information hubs in the universe. When matter falls into a black hole, it can seemingly disappear from the observable universe. However, theoretical physicists suggest that the information about that matter is never truly lost, as it may be encoded on the event horizon itself. This idea leads to intriguing debates around quantum mechanics and the nature of reality, which are still being explored by scientists today. Studying black holes not only enhances our understanding of gravity and space-time, but also opens doors to insights about the early universe. For instance, understanding the formation and evolution of black holes could help us grasp how galaxies came to exist. In the early moments after the Big Bang, when everything was hot and dense, black holes may have played a crucial role in the formation of structures we observe today. The study of black holes has been revolutionized in recent years thanks to advances in technology. Observations with powerful telescopes and observatories have allowed scientists to capture images of black holes and the accretion disks of gas swirling around them. The Event Horizon Telescope made headlines when it produced the first ever image of the black hole in the galaxy Mighty 7, providing compelling evidence of their existence and enhancing our understanding of these cosmic giants. In summary, black holes are not cosmic vacuums drawing everything into their depths. They are fascinating entities that highlight the complexities of gravity and space. People often conjure images of black holes swirling in space like giant vacuum cleaners, but the truth is far more captivating. Their personality lies in their ability to shape the dynamics of surrounding celestial bodies, revealing profound insights into the cosmos. Embracing the wonder of black holes requires us to challenge misconceptions and appreciate their place in the grand tapestry of the universe. So next time you ponder the mysteries of black holes, remember that they are not the terrifying monsters we often imagine, but rather essential players in the cosmic ballet of our universe. Imagine a chilly winter evening with the wind howling outside and frost creeping over your window panes. You're wrapped in a cozy blanket, cradling a mug of something warm in your hands. Perhaps it's hot cocoa, or maybe a steaming cup of tea. Now, picture a friend walking in, slightly chilled from the cold. They smile, holding a glass of something vibrant and inviting. "This will warm you up," they say, jesting about the magic of a good drink. Indeed, many are drawn to alcohol for the sensation it brings. When you take that first sip, you might feel an immediate warmth spreading through your body. This captivating feeling can bring a certain comfort, almost like being wrapped in a soft, warm embrace. The initial rush can feel soothing, allowing you to relax as the warmth seeps in. The truth is, alcohol doesn't actually warm you up in the way we often think. In fact, it works in some clever and paradoxical ways. When you consume a drink, blood vessels near your skin expand, leading to that immediate warmth you feel. This response is part of a complex system our body uses to regulate its temperature. However, the heat that you feel on the surface actually causes your core temperature to drop. Let's explore this further. Imagine yourself at a gathering with friends during the winter months. Each time someone laughs and lifts that glass, there's a wave of merriment, and the room seems to glow a little brighter. The drinks clink, and the atmosphere becomes lively. But unbeknownst to many, while the conviviality is palpable, there's a hidden dialogue taking place within your body. Your heart races slightly, blood flows faster, and that cozy warmth feels even more pronounced. As you sip, you might notice that your skin feels flushed, generating a perception of comfort and warmth. It's easy to misinterpret this sensation as an actual increase in body heat. After all, doesn't it feel delightful? But think about it. That warmth is merely a function of dilated blood vessels streaming warm blood to the surface. What follows is a subtle trick. The body, in its attempt to balance and keep itself stable, starts to let heat escape. As you enjoy those moments of laughter and connection, your core temperature quietly drops, almost stealthily. Imagine standing in a snow-laden landscape, feeling exhilaratingly alive, yet your body quietly cools down without you realizing. Now, there's an intriguing history to this concept. Many different cultures have rituals around sharing drinks, especially in cold climates. Picture a gathering of friends in a Scandinavian cabin where the snow swirls outside and camaraderie thrives with shared beverages. They toast to warmth, forgetting momentarily the subtlety of what is actually occurring in their bodies. It's no wonder that across cultures, alcohol has been dubbed a warming agent. In traditional folklore, It's described as a liquid sun. As our ancestors sought warmth during harsh winters, they occasionally turned to their local brews. While this created a social bond and palpable joy, the physiological response steered a fascinating course. This narrative continues even today. On a warm summer evening, think of enjoying a chilled glass of white wine with friends. The night is lovely, filled with warmth and adventure. While your body might feel content in the warmth of the surroundings, alcohol still sets into motion that same fascinating reaction, dilating those blood vessels. You may feel carefree under the soft glow of fairy lights, laughter echoing, yet the balance of temperature remains nuanced and layered. Have you noticed how comforting that after-dinner drink feels? The atmosphere shifts, and everyone seems to lean back a bit more. The rich flavors linger longer, and conversations flow easily. As you savor each sip, the warmth from the drink can wrap around you like a gentle wave, lulling your senses into bliss. Yet, as the night stretches on and the world outside darkens, the core of your body quietly cools, like the night air settling in. So, the next time someone offers you a drink on a cold evening, remember this fascinating two-sided tale. Celebrate the warmth, laughter, and connection shared, but be mindful that the true warmth is a perception created amidst a clever dance of biology. While alcohol can be a delightful companion in social settings, it's also wise to embrace smaller doses. After all, genuine warmth comes from within and is better nurtured through the right choices. Next time, when you clink glasses with friends or neighbors, you might find yourself reflecting on the ways we perceive heat and warmth, unraveling the intricate tapestry of nature and biology intertwined in joyous human interactions. The warmth of companionship, laughter, and memory is everlasting and more profound than the fleeting rush of a drink. In the end, the human experience is rich and storied, filled with moments that genuinely warm our hearts even amidst the cold. The Great Wall of China is one of the most recognizable landmarks in the world. It stretches for thousands of miles across the northern regions of China, weaving through mountains, deserts, and plains. It stands as a testament to human ingenuity and strength, attracting millions of visitors each year who come to explore its vast history and impressive architecture. However, one of the most persistent myths surrounding this grand structure is the belief that it is visible from space with the naked eye. The reality of this claim is much more complex and interesting. The myth likely stems from the Great Wall's impressive scale. Spanning around 13,170 miles, it varies in width and height, but on average is about 30 feet wide and can reach up to 50 feet in height in certain places. When viewing the wall from a close distance, it appears to be an enormous and almost unmissable structure. However, distance and perspective change our perception significantly. Astronauts orbiting the Earth at altitudes of around 200 miles do not report seeing the Great Wall without assistance. This might come as a surprise to many, as the wall is often touted as an easily viewable landmark from space. The truth is, the Great Wall blends in with the natural landscape around it. Although it was a monumental feat of construction, the materials used, such as earth, wood, stone, and bricks, often blend seamlessly into the environment. From such heights, with the vastness of the earth below, distinguishing the wall from the surrounding terrain proves incredibly difficult. Think of it this way: if you were standing in a busy city with many buildings, roads, and structures around, it might be challenging to spot a single street or even a small park from a tall building. The same concept applies when looking down from space, where the sheer scale of the Earth makes most human creations appear minuscule. Moreover, the Earth's atmosphere can complicate visibility even further. The light and atmospheric conditions play a crucial role in how we perceive distant objects. Clouds, weather patterns, and pollution can obscure visibility, making even larger formations harder to see. To give you another perspective, many fewer artificial structures are visible from space without the aid of powerful lenses or cameras. For instance, the lights of major cities can sometimes be seen at night from space, but it is not the same for large landmarks during the day. The latter point may make one wonder what can be seen from the heights of space. Astronauts have mentioned various features, but they often cite the curvature of the Earth, the colors of the oceans, and the patterns of clouds as the more captivating aspects. They emphasize the fragility of our planet, noting how cities blend into the environment and how vast bodies of water dominate the landscape. This myth surrounding the Great Wall opens up interesting discussions about perception, technology, and the human-nature relationship. The idea that we can create something that appears so grand yet cannot be easily distinguished from space reflects both our ambition and limitations. It reminds us that despite our technological advancements, there are still boundaries to our perceptions and capabilities. Another fascinating aspect of the Great Wall is its historical significance. Built over several dynasties, it served as a defense against invasions and as a symbol of power and unity. The wall is not merely a structure. It represents a collective effort of labor, organization, and vision from various dynasties, particularly the Ming Dynasty, which saw some of the most well-preserved sections we can visit today. Moreover, the wall's construction is an intriguing story unto itself. Imagine thousands of workers toiling under harsh conditions, carrying heavy stones and earth, while facing the elements. Their work was not just for protection, but also about the cultural identity that this monumental structure would help foster within the Chinese population. It is a symbol of resilience, showcasing the human spirit's capacity to endure and create even in the most challenging circumstances. In essence, the Great Wall of China showcases the ingenuity of our species, the ability to craft something monumental that changes landscapes and culture. However, as we lift our eyes up toward the sky, ready to admire it from above, we are reminded of our place within the larger context of the universe. While we may not see the wall from space, its legacy persists, echoing through history, while inviting us to explore further and dig deeper into narratives that define both our past and our collective identity. Even though the Great Wall may not be visible from the far reaches of space, it remains a focal point of human achievement. It stands tall against the skyline of time, reminding us that some of the most remarkable creations exist within the intricate web of our environment, waiting to be explored and appreciated, both from the ground and in the stories shared through generations. The notion that individuals swallow spiders while sleeping is a fascinating topic, often discussed in urban legends and folklore. The premise of such a story creates vivid images in the mind and raises a flurry of questions about the interaction between humans and arachnids. However, upon closer inspection, there is no credible evidence to support this idea, and many factors contribute to why this myth persists. First, let's consider the biological characteristics of both spiders and humans. Spiders are generally elusive creatures that thrive on their ability to be stealthy. Most people are more likely to feel discomfort at the sight of a spider that is present than to let it roam freely through the sleeping environment. It's important to remember that people are rarely completely unaware of their surroundings, even while resting. The average human has several protective instincts and sensory responses that would likely deter them from swallowing anything out of fear or instinct. Now, Think about human anatomy. The throat has a complex structure that includes the esophagus and trachea. The trachea serves as the windpipe, leading to the lungs, while the esophagus is designed to carry food to the stomach. Swallowing something as large as a spider would require an individual to overcome several physical reflexes that work to prevent airway blockage. The gag reflex, for instance, is a protective mechanism meant to keep unintentional objects from entering the throat. Most people would wake up immediately if they sensed something unusual in their mouths. There are also several scenarios in which spiders typically interact with humans. For example, many species of spiders are more active at night, preferring undisturbed areas. This means they are less likely to wander onto a person's bed, especially with the presence of noise and movement. Spiders tend to avoid confrontation with larger creatures like humans and often utilize their web-making skills to catch their prey rather than approach a sleeping giant. Furthermore, let's explore some of the origins of this myth. One reason it may have endured is the sheer unlikeliness of the event itself. Humans often find humor in the idea of something unexpected or shocking. Swallowing a spider while sleeping conjures an image that is equal parts ridiculous and unsettling, hence making it an excellent candidate for storytelling. The anecdote might also come from the human propensity to exaggerate everyday fears, turning an irrational worry into an engaging narrative. In the realm of health and nutrition, the belief in swallowing spiders may also have roots in discussions about impurities in food. Many stories similar to this one often reflect societal anxieties concerning cleanliness or food safety. By imagining the worst-case scenario of consuming an insect unknowingly, people could be expressing their discomfort about what's lurking in their environment, much like fears about eating food contaminated by pests. Interestingly, research into spider habits also informs us that certain spider species may take refuge in homes, yet they typically avoid human interaction. This behavior highlights another reason why the concept of swallowing spiders at night is far-fetched. Many individuals may inadvertently share their living spaces with spiders that keep their distance. They are beneficial in many ways, often managing pest populations by feeding on insects, which clarifies their indirect role in the ecosystem. Additionally, this concept adds a layer of absurdity when you consider practical observation. It seems implausible that one would wake up after having ingested a creature, such as a spider, without noticing. If one manages to consume something significant while in a recess of consciousness, the idea that it would be a spider, among other possibilities, becomes a rarity. As a cultural reference, consider how folklore often embodies larger messages about humanity's relationship with the natural world. The spider has appeared in fables across cultures, symbolizing a variety of themes, from creativity to danger. These stories often serve to remind us of our connection to nature, invoking both respect and caution. In contemporary society, this myth survives through various means: social media, articles, and discussions among friends, creating a loop of misinformation that captures the imagination of listeners. Sometimes these legends morph from simple spook stories into horrendous claims that occasionally lead to unwarranted fear. The tendency for stories of this nature to be passed around reveals humans' instinctual fascination with the bizarre and the creepy-crawly elements of the world around us. Ultimately, while the story of swallowing spiders while nestled in sleep is captivating, scientific scrutiny tells us it is a fabrication, one that illustrates not only our fears, but also the way we construct narratives to make sense of the unknown. So, the next time someone mentions this quirky urban myth, you can share a smile, knowing you are armed with the knowledge that truth often outnumbers the myths in fascinating ways. When we think about our canine companions, a lot of commonly held beliefs come to mind. One of the most popular myths is that dogs can only see in black and white. This perception has lingered for quite some time, but the reality is a bit more nuanced and fascinating. While it is true that dogs don't perceive colors in the same vivid way that humans do, they do see in color, albeit with a limited spectrum. To understand how dogs perceive color, it's helpful to first look at human vision. Humans have 3 types of color receptors in their eyes called cones. These cones allow us to see a wide range of colors, including reds, greens, blues, and everything in between. This 3-cone system enables us to enjoy the vibrant hues of a rainbow, each color bursting with brightness. Dogs, however, have a different visual system. They have 2 types of cones, which makes their color perception more akin to that of a human with red-green color blindness. This means that while dogs can see some colors, their world appears more muted and less varied than the colorful environment we experience. Specifically, dogs are thought to see shades of blue and yellow quite well, but reds and greens appear more gray or brown to them. Imagine a field of flowers filled with bright reds and green. To a human, that scene is a symphony of colors, but to a dog, it may resemble an assortment of yellows and blues, with the reds appearing dim. This difference might explain why some dogs seem less interested in vibrant toys or items, while they eagerly chase after blue and yellow objects. It's fascinating to note that a dog's other senses may compensate for their less colorful vision. Their sense of smell is extraordinarily powerful, allowing them to receive information about their environment in ways that we cannot even fathom. This acute sense of smell plays a crucial role in how dogs interact with the world around them. The way dogs perceive their environment extends beyond just color. Their eyes are also adapted for motion detection. Dogs can track fast movements much better than humans can. This makes them superb companions for activities like playing fetch. While we are admiring the colorful ball sailing through the air, dogs are adept at locking onto the movement, ready to pounce and retrieve it as it lands. Moreover, the structure of a dog's eye gives them advantages in low-light conditions. They possess a higher proportion of rod cells compared to cone cells. Rods are responsible for vision in dim light, meaning that dogs can see better than humans when the sun sets and darkness begins to fall. This is particularly beneficial for those breeds that have been historically used for hunting or working in the dark. Despite the limitations in color perception, it is essential to appreciate how dogs' vision complements their other extraordinary abilities. For instance, their acute hearing helps them detect sounds at frequencies that are inaudible to humans. A dog's ears are finely tuned machinery capable of picking up higher frequencies, which is why they may react to sounds long before we do. But what does this mean for our interactions with these loving animals? Understanding their vision can enhance the way we communicate and engage with them. For example, toys that are blue or yellow might be favored over those in other colors. Selecting items that align with what dogs perceive most favorably enriches their playtime and keeps them intrigued. The myths surrounding color perception often obscure the beauty of companionship with dogs. Their loving nature, loyalty, and antics can bring such joy to our lives. It is essential to recognize that their world, although different from ours, is filled with its own vibrancy and richness. It's intriguing to consider how dogs' vision shapes their understanding of the world. All of the scents, sounds, and textures combine to create a unique perspective that informs their behavior. While we may not view our surroundings the same way, it builds bridges of understanding and connection between us. In essence, dogs see a world that is full of yellows, blues, and various shades of gray. They might navigate through life with a different perception, but that does not diminish the bond we share with them. Each wag of their tail, each joyful lunge towards us, conveys emotions that transcend visual stimuli. In a world where color vibrancy plays a significant role in human experiences, it's enlightening to remember that dogs have their own way of processing and interacting with the beauty around them. Their appreciation runs deeper than sight. It encompasses the gentler nuances of life that we might sometimes overlook. Let us revel in this understanding and embrace the differences in perception. The companionship of dogs is a precious gift which continues to teach us not only about their lives, but also about our own experiences with the world. Their vibrant personalities are a reminder that there's often more than meets the eye. Birds are fascinating creatures that captivate many with their vibrant colors, sweet songs, and unique behaviors. One common belief is that if humans touch baby birds, their parents will reject them. However, this idea isn't as straightforward as it seems. To understand why, we first need to delve into some of the remarkable adaptations birds have evolved over time. One of the most interesting characteristics of many bird species is their limited sense of smell. Contrary to what people often think, many birds do not rely on olfactory cues in the same way that mammals do. For example, while dogs have an extraordinary nose for sniffing out scents, birds like robins or sparrows do not depend heavily on their sense of smell to locate food or recognize their young. Instead, they use their keen eyesight and vocalizations. Most birds are visually oriented, which plays a significant role in how they interact with their environment and their offspring. This brings us to the touching of baby birds. When a human interacts with a nestling, either by accident or out of curiosity, many fear that the bird's parents will sense the human's scent and be deterred from caring for their young. However, birds do not rely on smell to recognize their chicks. Instead, they recognize their young through visual markers and sounds. Parent birds are typically very attuned to the unique calls and colors of their offspring, as they are essential for identifying them among other chicks in a crowded nest. There are instances in nature that highlight this phenomenon. For example, in species like barn swallows, parents show an incredible ability to distinguish their chicks based on vocal characteristics. These chicks often have very specific calls that parents can recognize immediately, even if there are other birds nearby. The idea that parents would abandon a chick due to human scent is based more on emotion than scientific fact. Another notable point is the instinctive behavior of many birds when it comes to their young. When a bird feels its nest might be threatened, such as by the presence of a predator, the instinct to protect the nest often overrides other concerns. Encounters with humans are generally not viewed as dangerous unless humans pose a direct threat to the birds or their habitat. Birds tend to trust their instincts about handling situations with their chicks and will often continue to care for them, regardless of human interaction. Nevertheless, it is crucial to note that while touching baby birds may not lead to parental rejection in most cases, it is still not advisable to handle wild birds unless necessary. This is primarily due to the stress that human interaction can impose on these animals. For many parents, the well-being of their young is paramount, and a stressed chick may not thrive as it should. Therefore, even though the fear of abandonment due to scent is unfounded, we should still act with care and respect for these creatures. Being mindful of the environment around us is essential. If you see a baby bird on the ground or near a nest, it is generally best to observe from a distance. Birds often have an innate sense of when their chicks are in danger, So parental birds will frequently be close by, watching or even waiting for the right moment to return to their young. It's a natural part of their behavior, a reminder of the bond that exists in the wild. In many cases, natural rearing processes are incredibly resilient. Even when young birds experience minor disturbances, their parents are usually capable of continuing their nurturing and providing care. The challenges are part of their growth, and parental involvement is a vital part of their survival skills. It does not only teach them how to find food, but also helps them develop relationships within their species. Consider the efforts that various species undertake to build their nests. Many birds put great amounts of energy into creating elaborate structures to protect their young. For instance, a weaver bird constructs intricate nests, often found hanging in trees, designed to deter predators and ensure the offspring's safety. Such complex nesting behavior is indicative of the commitment found in avian parenting. In conclusion, the notion that touching baby birds leads to rejection by their parents is a myth that doesn't hold water when one examines the biological and behavioral aspects of most bird species. Understanding how these animals perceive their surroundings can help to foster a sense of respect and wonder for their natural instincts. Appreciating their behaviors and adaptations allows us to coexist with them more harmoniously, creating a world where both humans and birds can thrive. Next time you spot a nest, take a moment to observe without intervening and appreciate the incredible parenting efforts happening right before your eyes. Every chirp, flutter, and glance tells a story of life and connection in the wild. Waking a sleepwalker is often viewed with concern and caution, but the reality of the situation is far more nuanced. Many people believe that disturbing someone in this state can lead to negative consequences, both physically and psychologically. However, understanding the complexities of sleepwalking can help us navigate how to handle a sleepwalker, along with the myths surrounding it. Sleepwalking, or somnambulism, is a phenomenon that occurs during the deeper phases of sleep. While the individual appears to be awake and may even engage in complex behaviors, they are actually in a state of partial consciousness. This can lead to confusion when they are suddenly awakened. Imagine the bewilderment one might feel if suddenly roused from a deep, dream-filled slumber to find themselves in an unfamiliar location. The disorientation can be startling. So, why do we hold the belief that waking someone while they sleepwalk can be harmful? Much of it stems from the fear of startling someone who is in a semi-conscious state. Waking a sleepwalker can lead to moments of confusion, and in some cases, they may react with a startled response. Their instinct might be to flee or fight. However, consider the alternative. Allowing a sleepwalker to continue their journey can present significant risks. They may navigate through obstacles, staircases, or even wander outside without a clear sense of their surroundings. By gently guiding them back to safety and waking them, you may help avoid potential injuries. The goal isn't to shock them awake, but to guide them safely while minimizing risk. Moreover, when a sleepwalker is awakened, we need to think about how we approach them. A calm and soothing voice is beneficial. This can help reassure them in what might be a disorienting moment. Rather than an abrupt shake or a loud call, a gentle and firm approach can make a substantial difference in how they respond. The intention here is to redirect them without creating panic. Now, let's explore the experience a sleepwalker might have. They might engage in activities like walking around the house, moving items, or even eating, all while unaware of their actions. It's fascinating to think about how the mind continues to function during sleep. even if it can appear disconnected from reality. They might wander to places they are familiar with, but the subconscious acts on its own, leading to strange and sometimes humorous outcomes, like finding an adult sitting on the floor with an armful of cereal at 3 in the morning. Often, individuals who experience sleepwalking episodes have no memory of their actions the following day. For some, this can be both amusing and a little unsettling, particularly if family or friends mention the behavior. Joking about the peculiar journeys can lighten the mood, as many sleepwalkers will share anecdotes with a tinge of embarrassment or humor. The sleepwalking experience is undoubtedly unique, and it ties closely to our understanding of human behavior. Sleep is not merely a time of inactivity. It is a complex state where various processes occur. Research indicates that sleepwalking may have genetic components, suggesting that it can run in families. Therefore, learning more about sleep disturbances could provide insights into personal health and family patterns. Living with someone who sleepwalks requires a sense of awareness and preparation. Keeping pathways clear of obstacles and ensuring windows and doors are secured can create a safer environment. Establishing a routine that focuses on healthy sleep practices can also be beneficial. Not only can it help reduce instances of sleepwalking, but it can also contribute to overall health. If you ever find yourself in the rare situation of encountering a sleepwalker, remember that your approach is crucial. They may need guidance back to a safe place, and your demeanor can influence their experience. While the myth of waking and harming a sleepwalker is prevalent, the true nature of sleepwalking reveals that our subconscious can play a complex role in our daily life. As we delve deeper into the world of sleep and sleepwalking, we uncover how fascinating and intricate our minds truly are. Every night unfolds a series of stories, adventures, and even challenges, all while we journey through the unseen world of dreams and sleep behaviors. By embracing the mysteries of sleepwalking, we not only learn more about individual experiences, but also gain insights into our own minds, influencing how we understand our natural states of being. In conclusion, next time you witness someone sleepwalking, remember that it is a natural phenomenon and approach the situation with care and compassion. By illuminating the myth and focusing on understanding, we can foster a supportive environment that promotes safety and well-being for all involved. The exploration of our subconscious may lead to unexpected and whimsical stories that only our dreams tell, captivating and intriguing our waking minds. The relationship between hair trimming and hair growth rate is a topic that often sparks curiosity and discussion. Many people believe that trimming hair can somehow promote faster growth, but the truth is a bit more nuanced. Hair growth is primarily determined by genetics. Each person has a unique set of genetic factors that influence how fast their hair grows. On average, hair grows about half an inch per month, which amounts to around 6 inches a year. Some individuals may have genes that promote faster growth, while others may experience a slower rate. Trimming hair does not directly affect the speed at which it grows. When you cut the ends of your hair, you are removing split ends and damaged areas. This process can enhance the appearance of the hair, making it look healthier and thicker. The reason many people feel their hair grows faster after a trim is that their hair is less prone to breakage and damage, leading to better retention of length over time. Imagine your hair as a beautiful plant. Just as a gardener trims away any dead leaves or branches to promote healthy growth, trimming your hair can help it look its best. It allows the healthier strands to thrive, giving the illusion of increased growth. By regularly trimming, you can avoid split ends that crawl up the hair shaft, which can lead to more significant damage and a need for more drastic cuts later on. Additionally, maintaining healthy hair can feel like it's growing faster because the overall condition improves. Healthy hair is more resilient and less likely to break off, meaning you can enjoy longer styles without encountering significant damage. Along with trimming, practices such as using nourishing hair products, staying hydrated, and maintaining a balanced diet can contribute to overall hair health. Let's take a look at some well-known hair care tips that can help improve hair health. For example, incorporating essential nutrients into your diet can play a significant role in the condition of your hair. Foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, like salmon and walnuts, can help keep the scalp hydrated and promote shiny, healthy hair. Protein is also vital, as hair is primarily made of a protein called keratin. Including eggs, beans, and lean meats in your meals can support hair strength. Another factor to consider is scalp health. A healthy scalp provides a nourishing environment for hair growth. Massaging the scalp can stimulate blood circulation, which may promote the nutrients reaching the hair follicles. Consider using natural oils, such as coconut or argan oil, during a scalp massage for added benefits. It not only feels soothing, but can provide hydration and nourishment to both the scalp and hair. While it's true that different hair types may have unique growth characteristics, it's worth noting that everyone can benefit from a consistent trimming routine. Depending on your hair type and style, you might want to consider a trim every 6 to 8 weeks. This allows you to keep those ends healthy without risking length retention. Another common misconception is the belief that certain hair products can magically make your hair grow faster. While there are numerous shampoos, conditioners, and treatments marketed for accelerating growth, it's essential to approach these claims critically. Products that provide good hydration and repair can enhance the look and feel of hair, but they will not directly influence the growth rate. Moreover, lifestyle factors play a significant role in the health of your hair as well. Chronic stress can negatively impact hair growth by disrupting the natural growth cycle. Finding healthy ways to manage stress, such as exercise, yoga, or engaging in hobbies, can improve your overall well-being and, indirectly, the condition of your hair. In conclusion, while trimming hair may not accelerate the growth rate directly, it certainly contributes to healthier hair. A regular trimming schedule can improve the look and feel of your hair, allowing it to reach its full potential. Focusing on a balanced diet, good scalp health, and effective stress management can also play vital roles in maintaining beautiful, vibrant hair. Ultimately, embracing healthy hair habits will allow you to enjoy the length and the beauty of your hair, regardless of its genetic growth rate. When we think about how our bodies maintain warmth, a common belief is that most heat is lost through the head. This idea has become almost ingrained in popular culture. Yet, let's explore the reality of body heat loss, examining the science and shedding light on where and how we actually lose heat. The human body generates warmth through metabolic processes. As we move and engage in activities, our muscles convert energy into heat. This heat needs to be retained to keep us comfortable, especially in cooler environments. However, heat can escape from any part of the body that is exposed. Each area has its own contribution to overall heat loss based on factors like surface area and insulation. Our skin, which covers a significant portion of our body, acts as a barrier, but also as a conduit for heat transfer. The mechanisms involved include conduction, convection, radiation, and evaporation. Conduction is the process where heat moves from one object to another through direct contact. For example, if you sit on a cold surface, your body heat transfers to that surface. Similarly, when lying on a cold bed, the heat from your body will be absorbed by the mattress. Convection involves the movement of air or liquid particles. When cold air circulates around our bodies, it carries away the warmth. This is particularly noticeable on a chilly day when the wind blows, making it feel much colder. Radiation is the emission of heat in the form of infrared energy. Our bodies radiate heat to the surrounding environment simply by being present. This means that even in a still room, if you are warmer than the atmosphere, heat will be inclined to escape. Then there is evaporation, which adds another layer to how we manage temperature. When we sweat, our bodies lose heat through the evaporation of moisture. This is an essential cooling mechanism, especially during physical exertion or in high temperatures. Now let's turn our attention to the head. Yes, the head does lose heat, but it is not any more significant than other areas of the body when those areas are uncovered. The misconception likely arises from the fact that the head is a small part of the body with a relatively high concentration of blood vessels and minimal insulation. Consequently, when exposed, the head can feel particularly cold, especially when compared to our well-covered limbs. Imagine this: you wear a warm hat on a frosty day. You might notice how it keeps your head warm, which in turn contributes to a general sense of comfort and warmth. However, if you were to wear the same hat and leave your arms bare in heavy winds, you might still feel cold because your arms are losing heat at a comparable rate. Think about other environments too. Have you ever ventured into a warm bathroom after a hot shower? The heat clings to your skin, and you feel enveloped in warmth. If you remove yourself from that warm atmosphere and step into the hallway without any clothing, that quick loss of heat you feel demonstrates how quickly our bodies can let go of warmth when no protective layers are present. In scientific studies, researchers have shown that, while the head is indeed important, body heat loss is more evenly distributed across all exposed areas. In a scenario where the whole body is covered except the head, the heat lost will be notably high. But if those same researchers uncovered the arms and legs instead, they would find that overall heat loss is more substantial from those areas compared to the head when compared proportional. So, while the belief that we lose more heat through our heads persists, the broader understanding is that every part of our body plays a role in heat retention. It's essential to consider every exposed area to effectively manage warmth, especially in varying climates. Understanding how our bodies lose heat can help us make better choices about how we dress and protect ourselves from the environment, whether that means layering during winter months or ensuring that any part of the body that might feel exposed has the necessary clothing to minimize heat loss. Ultimately, it's about balance. The human body efficiently adapts to different temperatures, constantly working to maintain stability. From our heads to our toes, every part is interconnected, working tirelessly to regulate temperature and keep us comfortable, emphasizing the idea that protecting our overall body, rather than just focusing on one area, is key to warmth and comfort in all conditions. So, next time you bundle up, remember that it's not just your head that needs covering. It's the whole body that plays a role in keeping the warmth where it belongs. Camels are remarkable creatures, often breaking the stereotypes commonly held about their unique features. One of the most well-known misconceptions is that camels store water in their humps. In reality, camel humps are reserves of fat, not water. Let us explore the fascinating adaptations of these animals that allow them to thrive in some of the harshest environments on Earth. When envisioning a camel, Many picture a robust creature trudging tirelessly across arid deserts, with a pair of distinct humps swaying rhythmically. These humps have a significant role in ensuring the camel's survival, but it is essential to clarify their function. The humps are composed of fatty tissue, which serves as an energy reserve. When nutrition is scarce, camels can metabolize this fat into energy, providing them with the sustenance needed to survive long journeys in search of food and water. In desert environments, where food resources can be intermittent, this adaptation proves to be immensely beneficial. A camel can live for several weeks without food, relying on the energy stored in its humps. Instead of using water for energy production, camels convert fat into energy, which minimizes their dependency on immediate hydration sources. This allows camels to traverse vast areas where food and water may not be readily available. In addition to their fat reserves, camels have developed exquisite methods for managing their hydration. Contrary to popular belief, camels do not lose significant amounts of moisture through their skin or their breath. They can tolerate considerable fluctuations in body temperature, which reduces the need for water. For instance, during the heat of the day, a camel's body temperature can rise significantly without suffering from dehydration. Conversely, at night, when temperatures drop, the camel can cool down and conserve moisture. Another impressive feature of camels is their ability to rehydrate quickly. When they do find water, camels can drink large quantities in a short period. They are able to consume up to 40 gallons of water in one go, replenishing their bodies quickly and efficiently. Their bodies are specially adapted to prevent water loss, allowing them to retain this hydration for extended periods. Moreover, camels possess specialized kidneys that filter and conserve water. Their kidneys are able to concentrate urine, reducing water waste and enabling them to thrive on minimal hydration. This adaptation means they can survive on just a few sips of water in extremely hot conditions. Camels have also evolved to eat dry and thorny vegetation, extracting moisture from their food, further aiding their ability to stay hydrated in desert environments. Another interesting fact about camels is their ability to tolerate salty water. Unlike many animals that will quickly face health issues if they consume saline water, camels can drink seawater without ill effects. This unique trait expands their options for hydration, allowing them to survive in coastal desert areas where fresh water might be scarce. The relationship of camels with their environment is a remarkable example of evolutionary adaptation. Within desert ecosystems, they play an important role as pack animals and carriers of goods. Their physical build and their ability to navigate treacherous landscapes have made them invaluable to various cultures, particularly in regions where transport options are minimal. Interestingly, the breeds of camels also exhibit different adaptations based on their environments. The dromedary camel, with one hump, is well suited for hot deserts, while the Bactrian camel, with two humps, is adapted to live in colder climates, such as the Gobi Desert. The two humps of the Bactrian camel store additional fat, providing more energy reserves to navigate the cold, mountainous terrain. In summary, camels are marvels of nature equipped with exceptional features that allow them to survive in harsh conditions. Their humps are fat reserves that ensure they have the energy needed to endure long treks across vast deserts. Through unique physiological adaptations, they manage their hydration effectively, conserving water and utilizing their advanced biological systems to thrive in environments where few other creatures can. This combination of features not only illustrates the resilience of camels, but also highlights the intricate balance of life in some of the most challenging habitats on the planet. Camels, with their fascinating adaptations, truly epitomize the concept of survival and endurance in the natural world. The idea that bulls hate the color red is a widely held misconception, but the reality is a bit more nuanced. Bulls, just like many other animals, have a different perception of colors than humans do. They are colorblind to red, and what truly captivates their attention is movement, rather than the specific color of an object. This interesting fact brings us to the dramatic world of bullfighting and the role of the iconic red cape. In the arena, the matador wields the red cape, known as the muleta, as a crucial part of his performance. The muleta, while striking to the audience, serves a purpose beyond its vivid hue. It is primarily the movement of the matador, rather than the color, that triggers an instinctive response from the bull. When the matador swirls the muleta and creates dynamic movements, it piques the bull's curiosity and aggression. This highlights how animals can be influenced by their perception of action rather than color alone. The care taken by matadors in their movements is essential for the performance. Each flick of the muleta not only dazzles the audience, but also commands the attention of the bull. The muleta is often used towards the end of the bullfight, giving the bull enough time to build up its energy and excitement. The bull, naturally an inquisitive animal, responds to what it sees happening in front of it, leading to thrilling exchanges between man and beast. Interestingly, the notion of bulls disliking the color red might stem from the cultural portrayal of bullfighting. This tableau of red capes and dramatic movements has seeped into various forms of media and folklore, solidifying the notion in popular imagination. The striking image of a bull charging toward a vibrant red cape is compelling, but it simplifies the complex interactions between the matador and the bull. In truth, bulls can see in shades of yellow, blue, and green, but red does not hold the same significance for them as it does for us. Their natural instincts drive them to respond to movement that disrupts their environment. In a pasture or during the fight, anything moving quickly captures their attention and sparks their instinctive impulses. This phenomenon can be observed in everyday situations with various animals, where the focus is often on what is moving rather than the color of the object. The idea of using the muleta in performances also connects with the historical evolution of bullfighting as an art form. The sport combines elements of bravery, skill, and performance, where the showmanship of the matador is pivotal. This artistry encapsulates the cultural heritage surrounding bullfighting, which many view as a traditional display of Spain's history and cultural identity. Beyond the matador's movements, the bull itself has a fascinating background. Bred specifically for bullfighting, these animals are trained to exhibit traits that enhance their aggression and strength. Their very nature makes them formidable opponents and iconic symbols of courage and power. Recognizing that bulls respond primarily to motion allows us to appreciate their behavior and instincts more fully. In a way, the bullfighting spectacle can be viewed as a dance, a delicate choreography between man and beast, where both participants engage in a dynamic and rhythmic contest. The muleta, swirling against the backdrop of the arena, becomes an emblem of this interaction. Although the audience is drawn to the vibrant color, it is the fluidity and precision of the movements that ultimately create the tension and excitement of the event. There are also parallels in nature that reveal how animals react to stimuli in their environment. For instance, many species are triggered by movement when hunting for food or evading predators. This instinctual behavior enables survival, as animals quickly assess their surroundings and respond to potential threats or opportunities. In various cultures, perceptions of animals' reactions are steeped in tradition and folklore. For example, many creatures endowed with vivid colors are often surrounded by legends of their ferocity. The tale of the fearsome bull is no different. Its strength and power have been celebrated through time. And the spectacle of bullfighting is just one manifestation of this reverence. Debates surrounding bullfighting often focus on animal rights and the ethics of such performances, but the innate abilities of animals to respond to their environments remind us of their intelligence and sensitivity. Understanding that bulls react to movement and not to the lively red of the muleta encourages a deeper appreciation for their instincts as sentient beings. In summary, the belief that bulls hate red is more myth than fact. It is a remarkable demonstration of how perceptions can distort the truth behind animal behavior. As we explore the world of bullfighting, we uncover various layers of meaning, from the artistry of the matador to the unique instincts of the bull. The captivating dance of movement and reaction is what defines this tradition, a vivid representation of the interplay between humanity and nature that endures through time. As with many stories woven into the fabric of cultures, this narrative reflects our shared fascination with not just the spectacle, but the deeper understanding of the lives of animals that share our world. Chameleons are fascinating creatures, known for their remarkable ability to change color. This unique trait has captured the imagination of many and led to a common misconception that chameleons change color primarily to blend into their surroundings. However, the reality is much more complex and intriguing. Chameleons change color due to a variety of reasons, including mood, light conditions, and temperature. And imagine a chameleon perched on a branch, its skin initially a vibrant green. As the sun rises and the light shifts, the chameleon's skin begins to transform. This is not simply a matter of camouflage. Rather, it reflects the changing environment. The reason behind this is that chameleons have special cells in their skin called chromatophores and iridophores. Chromatophores contain different pigments, including red, yellow, and blue, while iridophores reflect light. When a chameleon wants to change color, it can expand or contract these cells, altering the wavelengths of light that are reflected and the pigments that are visible. Mood plays a significant role in the chameleon's color-changing abilities. For instance, when a chameleon is excited, such as when it sees a potential mate, it may exhibit bright and vibrant colors to signal its readiness and attract attention. Conversely, when it feels threatened or stressed, the chameleon may darken in color. This response can serve not only as a warning to predators, but also as a way to absorb more heat. Darker colors tend to absorb more sunlight, which can help the chameleon regulate its body temperature. Light conditions also influence how chameleons appear. During the day, they may display lighter hues to reflect sunlight and avoid overheating. As dusk approaches, they often transition to darker shades. When they are basking in the sun, a healthy chameleon might exhibit a mix of colors, showing off its vibrant health. In the wild, this ability to adapt color based on light helps them stay cool and manage their internal body temperature, which is essential for their survival. Temperature is another factor that plays a crucial role in a chameleon's color-changing ability. Chameleons are ectothermic, meaning they rely on external sources of heat to regulate their body temperature. When temperatures drop, a chameleon may darken to absorb more warmth from the environment. Conversely, when temperatures rise, lighter colors can help dissipate heat, maintaining a comfortable body temperature. Let's explore a specific example of this fascinating ability. The veiled chameleon, known for its significant color variations, may exhibit bright greens and yellows during the day to blend into leafy trees, while showing deeper blues and blacks during moments of stress or excitement. This adaptability not only fascinates scientists and animal lovers alike, but also serves practical purposes in the chameleon's life. Another intriguing aspect of chameleon coloration is how it can change dramatically in just moments. Imagine a scenario where a chameleon is sitting calmly on a branch. Suddenly, it spots a rival male approaching. In an instant, its body may display vibrant hues, signaling dominance and aggression. This process can happen so quickly, highlighting the incredible and rapid communication methods that are crucial in the animal kingdom. Chameleons are also known to be solitary creatures, choosing to change their colors not only as a response to their immediate environment, but as part of their social interactions. They are known to communicate with other chameleons through their colors, which can indicate threats, desire for mating, or even territorial claims. This vibrant display of colors essentially becomes their language, speaking volumes without a single sound. This dynamic form of communication is not limited to chameleons alone. Many animals utilize color changes for signaling and defense. Birds display bright feathers to attract mates, while certain fish change color to hide from predators. Chameleons, however, take this ability to a whole new level, fine-tuning their colors according to their emotional state, interactions with others, and environmental conditions. Ultimately, the ability of chameleons to adapt their colors highlights a complex integration of biology, behavior, and environmental interactions. Their dynamic skin not only aids in survival, but also enriches their daily lives in ways that researchers continue to study. Each color change tells a story, reflecting not just the physical world around them, but also the intricate emotional landscapes they navigate. In summary, chameleons are more than just brilliant color shifters, trying to blend into their surroundings. They are mastering a language of hues and tones that helps them express emotions, respond to environmental changes, and manage their body temperature. As these creatures continue to capture our attention with their extraordinary capabilities, they remind us of the beauty and complexity found in nature, a splendid world where adaptation plays a vital role in the survival and communication of each unique species. Long before the well-known voyages of Christopher Columbus, who is often credited with discovering America in 1492, another group of explorers had embarked on their own incredible journey across the Atlantic, the Vikings. These Scandinavian mariners, who hailed from what is now Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, were not only skilled warriors, but also remarkable navigators and traders. Their discovery of North America is a fascinating chapter in the rich tapestry of world history that often goes overlooked. The first documented landing of the Vikings in North America occurred around the year 1000, more than 400 years prior to Columbus' celebrated expedition. This incredible voyage was spearheaded by Leif Erikson, a Norse explorer and the son of Eric the Red, who is often associated with the colonization of Greenland. While tales of voyages to distant lands circulated among the Vikings, it was Erikson who sought to discover new territories. According to the sagas, ancient Norse tales that recount the adventures and sagas of early Viking explorers, Leif Erikson first arrived in a region called Vinland. This name, which translates to Land of Wine, is thought to refer to parts of what is now Newfoundland, Canada. The sagas suggest that the land was abundant in resources, including wild grapes, which might have led to its descriptive name. However, it likely also had a wealth of other natural resources that attracted Erikson and his crew. Vinland is believed to correspond to a site known today as Lance Oaks Meadows. Archaeological excavations at this site have uncovered remains of Norse structures, along with artifacts that match those used by Viking communities in Europe. This discovery is significant as it provides tangible evidence that these explorers set foot on North American soil nearly 5 centuries before Columbus. The saga of Leif Erikson and the Vikings in North America is not merely one of exploration. Rather, it encapsulates the spirit of adventure and the pursuit of knowledge that was prevalent during the Viking Age. The Vikings were renowned for their extraordinary shipbuilding skills, crafting longships that were both swift and capable of navigating unfamiliar waters. These vessels enabled them to traverse vast oceans, venturing into the North Atlantic and beyond. The journey to Vinland was not without its challenges. The journey itself was long and fraught with uncertainty. Viking sailors relied on the sun's position, landmarks, and even birds to guide them across the open seas. Their formidable seamanship and knowledge of navigation are testaments to their skills and determination. The harsh ocean and unpredictable weather created an atmosphere of danger that only the bravest would tackle. Upon reaching Vinland, the Vikings did not establish a permanent settlement immediately. Initially, they acted as explorers and temporary visitors, engaging with the indigenous peoples who inhabited the region. These encounters would have been intricate, mixing trade, cultural exchange, and perhaps conflict. The sagas recount stories informing us that the Vikings faced tensions with local tribes, which were heightened by competitions for resources and misunderstandings in communication. The brief presence of the Vikings in North America raised intriguing questions about cross-cultural interactions during that era. While the Norse were not the first humans to inhabit North America, indigenous peoples had already established rich and diverse societies across the continent. This contact marked an important moment of European engagement with the New World. It highlighted the interconnectedness of different civilizations, long before the timeline commonly associated with European exploration. The Viking sagas serve not only as stories of adventure, but also as cultural records, revealing the values, beliefs, and worldview of Norse society. They depict heroes and sagas filled with bravery, ambition, and the relentless pursuit of new horizons. As we explore these narratives today, they allow us a glimpse into a bygone era where exploration was driven by curiosity about the unknown, a trait that remains relevant to humanity even now. The legacy of the Vikings' journey to Vinland is a powerful reminder of the rich history of exploration that precedes the Age of Discovery. It underscores the fact that the world has always been interconnected, with stories of daring exploration unfolding across different cultures and epochs. The Vikings left an indelible mark on the pages of history, a testament to the enduring human spirit of adventure. In recounting the story of Leif Erikson and the Vikings in North America, we gain insights into their remarkable achievements as explorers who dared to venture into the unknown. Their journey to Vinland remains a captivating chapter that opens up discussions about the ancient world, the dynamics of cultural exchange, and the quest for discovery that continues to shape human experiences across time. As we reflect on their legacy, we celebrate not just their voyages, but the spirit of exploration that lies within all of us. Humans are often said to have 5 senses: sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. These senses play an essential role in how we interact with the world. Each sense provides vital information that our brains process, helping us understand and navigate our environment. But when we delve deeper into human capabilities, we discover a fascinating array of additional senses that go beyond this traditional 5. Let's begin with sight. This sense allows us to perceive light and color, enabling us to appreciate the beauty around us. Imagine standing on a mountaintop and taking in a breathtaking sunset. The vibrant oranges and pinks stretch across the sky, and you feel a sense of wonder. But sight is more than just color. It encompasses depth, perception, helping us gauge distances and motion detection, which alerts us to movement in our surroundings. Next, consider hearing. This sense opens the door to a world of sounds, from the rustling of leaves in the wind to the laughter of friends. Our ability to appreciate music is also a remarkable aspect of hearing. When listening to a melody that resonates with you, it can evoke memories or emotions, creating a deeper connection to personal experiences. Taste and smell are closely linked. Taste allows us to experience flavors through receptors on our tongues. Each bite can be an adventure, revealing sweet, sour, salty, bitter, and umami sensations. Smell, on the other hand, significantly influences our taste. Have you ever found that a favorite dish seems to taste better when it's freshly cooked and the scent wafts through the air? This connection between aroma and flavor is truly remarkable. Touch, the fifth sense, is fundamental to our interaction with the world. It encompasses our ability to feel pressure, temperature, and texture. The warmth of a hug, the softness of a pet's fur, or the coolness of a gentle breeze all inform our experiences. Touch is significant in forming connections with others. It can convey emotions that words sometimes cannot. While these five senses provide a foundation for our perception, the human experience is enriched by additional senses that many might not immediately consider. One such sense is proprioception. This extraordinary capability allows us to be aware of our body's position in space. When you close your eyes and touch your nose with your finger, proprioception guides your movements without needing visual confirmation. This sense is crucial for coordination and balance. Speaking of balance, the vestibular system plays a vital role here. Located in the inner ear, it helps us maintain our balance and spatial orientation. Think about the last time you rode a bicycle. Your vestibular system works tirelessly to keep you upright and coordinated as you navigate turns and changes in speed. When you swing on a playground, it's this inner mechanism that helps you feel exhilarated as your body moves back and forth. Temperature is another sense that often goes unnoticed. Our skin is equipped with receptors that enable us to feel changes in temperature, whether it's the warmth of sunlight or the chill of a cool breeze. This sense is crucial not only for comfort, but also for survival. It helps us respond to our environment, alerting us to potential dangers, such as extreme heat or cold. Another fascinating aspect of human perception is interoception. This lesser-known sense allows us to perceive internal bodily signals. It helps us recognize hunger, thirst, and even our emotions. Think about how you feel when you are anxious. Your heart might race, and you may feel butterflies in your stomach. Interoception is the sense that connects us to our inner states, providing invaluable information about our well-being. Let's not forget our ability to perceive time. This sense influences how we experience moments, creating a flow to our lives. Time perception helps us react to events, from catching a ball thrown at us to enjoying a conversation without feeling rushed. Have you ever noticed how time seems to fly when you're having fun, but drags on during mundane moments? This awareness of time adds depth to our experiences. Humans are also equipped with the capacity for social awareness, often referred to as social cognition. This sense helps us interpret social cues, such as facial expressions and body language. Being able to read these signals is crucial for facilitating communication and building relationships. Consider how a warm smile from a stranger can brighten your day or how a frown can convey concern or disapproval. Finally, there's the sense of agency, the awareness of our ability to take action in the world around us. This sense helps us understand that our choices can lead to specific outcomes. When you decide to try a new recipe or take a different route on your commute, it's this sense that empowers you to make those choices. Our understanding of the world is an intricate tapestry woven from these various senses. While the classic five provide a robust framework, our additional senses contribute to a rich and nuanced experience. Elevating our awareness of these capabilities can enhance our appreciation of each moment we live. By embracing the fullness of our sensory experiences, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us, inspiring wonder and curiosity in every aspect of life. The Great Wall of China is one of the most famous landmarks in the world, often credited as a magnificent testament to human ingenuity and perseverance. Stretching over thousands of miles across mountains and valleys, it tells a fascinating story of ancient China. But there is a common myth that has captured the imagination of many people: the idea that this colossal structure can be seen from the moon without any aid. To understand this story, let's explore the history and significance of the Great Wall first. Designed to protect the Chinese states and empires against invasions, the wall is not one single wall, but rather a series of fortifications, built and rebuilt over several dynasties. The construction began as early as the 7th century before our era, with the most famous sections being erected during the Ming Dynasty, from the 14th to the 17th centuries. Millions of workers contributed to its construction, often under harsh conditions, and it remains one of the most ambitious architectural feats in history. As impressive as this monument is, its visibility from the moon has been a topic of much debate and myth-making. Astronauts who traveled to the moon during several missions, including Apollo 11, have consistently stated that no man-made structure, including the Great Wall, is discernible to the naked eye from that high vantage point. This surprising fact challenges our conceptions of scale and visibility. Imagine being in space, looking back at Earth. From such a distance, the planet is a beautiful orb, alive with color and texture. Clouds float above, oceans glisten in the sunlight, and continents are intermingled with patches of green and brown. Yet, the intricate details of human craftsmanship shrink into the background. The Great Wall, despite its grandiosity, blends seamlessly into the landscape. Its color mimics the earth tones of the terrain it traverses. The thick stone, packed earth, and bricks that form the wall are made from materials sourced locally, allowing it to integrate almost invisibly into its surroundings. At its best, the wall might be spotted by those with keen eyes or spotting equipment, but generally, it vanishes into the folds of the natural world when viewed from the great heights of space. This revelation evokes feelings of awe regarding our planet and its landscapes. It serves as a humbling reminder of the vastness of Earth compared to our own creations. Whether it's the Great Wall of China or the skyscrapers of New York City, human structures are magnificently monumental on land. Yet from the great beyond, they merely become small marks upon a grand canvas. Consider how many other man-made structures might share a similar fate. Could the Eiffel Tower or the pyramids of Egypt also fade into nothingness when viewed from above? Each of these wonders tells a story deeply interconnected with human history and culture. Yet they, too, find their prominence diminished in the expansive nature of our planet. Space exploration changes our perspective, not just of structures, but of humanity as a whole. It highlights how mankind has evolved while creating these intricate designs, all in pursuit of advancement. This led to architectural innovations that impact daily life today in cities around the world. The story of the Great Wall and its visibility from the moon encourages thoughtfulness. It highlights the importance of observation and curiosity. We often take what we see for granted, allowing ourselves to lose sight of the amazing stories lying underneath the surface. The structure is extensive and remarkable, an impressive example of dedication, and yet simply not visible from great distances. As we ponder our capabilities and limitations, it's important to remember what the Great Wall represents. Beyond its physicality, it stands for endurance, the essence of teamwork, and the lengths humans will go to protect and preserve what is important. So, the next time you visit the Great Wall, take a moment to appreciate not just its size and beauty, but the historical context and the efforts it took to create such a monumental piece of architecture. Recognize it not just as a wall made of stone, but as a form of ancient communication of human resilience and creativity. Thus, while it may not be seen from the moon, the Great Wall undoubtedly remains a symbol of human achievement. After all, understanding our achievements is more important than merely seeing them from the heights of space. We can reflect on the remarkable journey of our species, our creativity, and our relentless spirit of innovation, which remains visible not only from our planet, but also through the legacies we leave behind. Vitamin C is a well-known nutrient that plays a crucial role in maintaining our overall health. People often associate it with preventing illnesses, particularly the common cold. But the relationship between vitamin C and colds is more nuanced than many realize. To understand this better, let's start with what vitamin C really is. Also known as ascorbic acid, vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin found in various fruits and vegetables. Citrus fruits, like oranges and lemons, are famous for their vitamin C content, but you can also find it in abundance in strawberries, kiwi, bell peppers, and leafy greens. This vitamin is essential for several bodily functions, including the growth and repair of tissues, enzyme function, and the maintenance of a healthy immune system. When we talk about the immune system, vitamin C is often highlighted for its role in supporting our body's defenses. It acts as an antioxidant, helping to neutralize free radicals that can cause cellular damage. This protective function is critical because oxidative stress can compromise immune function and make us more susceptible to infections. Despite its beneficial properties, the question arises, can vitamin C prevent the common cold? Research suggests that while it may not actually stop you from catching a cold, it can influence the severity and duration of cold symptoms. Some studies show that people who take vitamin C regularly might experience shorter colds when they do catch one. This means that if you increase your intake of vitamin C, you may find that your recovery time is quicker and your symptoms are less severe. One particularly interesting aspect of this nutrient is its historical significance. Athletes and soldiers in extreme conditions have been studied to determine the effects of vitamin C. For example, research conducted on individuals exposed to rigorous physical stress showed that taking vitamin C could have the occurrence of cold. This finding suggests that for certain groups, particularly those exposed to high levels of physical strain, vitamin C can provide a valuable edge in fending off illness. A point worth noting is that the body does not store vitamin C, which means it's necessary to obtain it regularly through diet. For many, a balanced diet that's rich in fruits and vegetables can provide sufficient amounts to support health. However, some individuals rely on supplements to ensure they are getting an adequate dose. While supplements can be helpful, Consuming natural food sources of vitamin C is generally seen as the best approach. In practical terms, consider how easy it is to incorporate vitamin C into your meals. Starting the day with a refreshing smoothie packed with oranges, strawberries, and spinach can be a delightful way to boost your intake. Aside from smoothies, you could add slices of citrus to your water or enjoy a colorful salad featuring red bell peppers, kiwi, and a zesty vinaigrette. Some people might wonder if there is such a thing as too much vitamin C. The answer is that while it's rare, excessive consumption through supplements can lead to side effects like stomach upset and diarrhea. However, the risk of these issues is much lower with dietary intake. Hence, sticking to whole foods is often the preferred and safer option. So, in summary, vitamin C borders on the amazing when it comes to our health. While it may not be a foolproof shield against catching colds, its potential to lessen their severity and duration is significant. On a broader scale, incorporating this vitamin into your daily routine through delicious, nutritious foods can offer enough benefits to enhance your general wellness, energy levels, and immune response. The next time you're feeling the seasonal sniffles coming on, reaching for a delicious citrus fruit or a vibrant salad might just be a wise choice. Not only do these foods taste great, but they could also contribute to a more resilient and adaptive body. Embracing a colorful and balanced diet, rich in vitamin C, can be a joyful and flavorful journey towards better health. Each bite can be seen as a step towards boosting the body's defenses, giving our immune system the support it needs to thrive in the face of everyday challenges. Ultimately, eating well is one of the most straightforward and enjoyable ways to care for our bodies, and every little change can lead to greater resilience and vitality in our daily lives. The choice of foods is abundant, and every plate has the potential to be both nutritious and delightful. So why not enjoy a burst of flavor with those nutrient-packed foods, all while giving your body the support it inherently deserves?